I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it? Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No. Without this competition, I would have never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end.
One spark is all it takes to ignite the stars!
Do I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it? Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No. Without this competition, I would have never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end.
One spark is all it takes to ignite the stars!
Everyone and okay. Good evening everyone and welcome back to Blazing Championship Season 1 powered by Blazing Shadow Esports sponsored by Mobile Legends 5v5 and our broadcasting and media partner being IGC Indian Gaming Cups. And these are the best of 3 matches, and right now the first match is between Team Astral Genesiz on the blue side and Team Giyattt on the red side. And with that, I am your caster Asya once again joined in by the GOAT Ray.
Thank you for that warm introduction, Asya. I really needed that because it's quite cold in my place, and hopefully it's not cold in other places, and everybody stay safe and healthy. With that, we have Astral Genesiz again, and we have Team Giyattt as well. And I'm looking forward to what they are bringing the Giyattt into the game or not.
I mean, I know you would be really, really interested in such information because let's just cut it out. But then again, I think both the teams are ready, and we can just move on to the draft right there. And with that, Ray, what do you think could be the draft here? Like those same standard meta bands?
Possibly because we're into the quarterfinals, so most of the teams are probably well acquainted with the meta. And also, it's been a while, right? It's been a while I've got to cast with you. I've been absent a few days, but it's finally nice to be back here with you on the casting desk. So I appreciate you. But anyways, let's see what they're going to be proceeding with. What are your guesses? We are only seeing Fanny so far.
Well, I always say just ban out a Fanny, ban out a Bruno, ban out a Sicilian as a Zushin because these four picks are actually quite annoying. And with that, they might go in for many other picks right there because a lot of other picks like Matilda or even our Hylos or Gatotkacha can be the ones making their way into this ban list.
Yes, indeed. We are seeing the Matilda coming up right here again. And I feel like there's a new addition into the meta. It's the Granger. Granger's spammability is like everybody has realized his potential that how you use a Granger is not by being stationary. He doesn't need to farm in the lane and get the highest goal. What he needs to do is rotate the lanes as much as possible, kill everything you see, like the hero, jungle, whatever you see, and gain the stacks on your passive. Because the more stacks you have, the more you can spam. And once you get 300 to 400 stacks, you can just infinitely use your first skill and annoy so much of the out of the enemy that even if you're not winning, you maintain a lot of pressure onto them.
Well, yes, Granger being a really, really great pick. And then again, a Hayabusa being banned out. Big fan because like Hayabusa is a great pick, but then again, if you deny his early game, if you deny the snowball this assassin needs right there, then he kind of falls off. Same goes if you pick up a lot of tanky picks, especially Fredrin making its way into the meta right now. Then Hayabusa, the bomb with his Hayabusa, kind of gets diffused away. So I think that's not a necessary ban. But then again, let's just see what's on their mind because Suyo has also been banned out.
Perhaps both of the teams are paying respect to the junglers so far, and that's the main reason we're seeing so many jungler bans coming in. Look at that. Astral Genesis have banned out 3 junglers. I do understand the Joy ban. Yes, the Hayabusa is a little questionable, but it's still a respect worthy ban if you had respect in your opponent. But let's see if the opponent jungler is definitely that level of kind of jungler, because I feel a lot of choking down coming in from both ends. But yep, here we go. The Sicilian ban is coming right up, and the Bruno is left out open. Let's see if Astral Genesis takes this hero, or is this a bait on the side of Giyattt? Because after picking up the Bruno, many people just go in for a counter.
Well, true. I think it's a kind of a bait because Zushin is also open. Meanwhile, Sicilian has been banned out. So maybe they're just trying to bait out the Zushin pick or even the Bruno pick because a Hylos and a Gatotkacha will be out onto the grab. And also, a lot of other options. Maybe they go in for a chip too. Hilda hasn't been banned out. Okay. Hilda could have been a great pick here, especially if your enemy wants to go in for an assassin jungler, but they're just going in for a Cho. It must be a Cho roam, but isn't it too early to show your cards?
Hmm. It is a flex pick indeed, but like many have said, it is very likely going to be a Chow roam because the XP, they don't really have that much of a potential. But at the same time, you are very right. Such a first pick. Are they just playing it safe? Because Chow is good for a few reasons. If they pick up the Bruno, you can kick him out. And if they pick up the Zushin, your Shunpo can immune her lifting from the Lantern Flare. So Chow in general counters both of the heroes in theory. But at the same time, can you really take the risk? I'm looking forward to what Astral Genesis is planning. And there we go. The Granger and the Hylos will be going into the hands of Team Giyattt. But Zushin, as well as Bruno, they're still left out open. So let's see if they're going to be picking, because I feel like if they don't pick it up right now, Giyattt will be banning out in the second phase.
True, and Joe actually being the flex pick right there, but we all know that mostly people go in for a roam show nowadays. So it's kind of a safety from the side of Team Giyattt. Maybe they thought that there will be no Lolita being picked up, so just really pick up the green chip because Lolita is a perfect counter for a hero right there. And with that, a high loss, just like I mentioned before, the beefy front Team Giyattt needs. They just got that hero with a cat.
The beefy front gap needs. I like that. I like that, Asya. I like your words, the way you play with them, just like they play with their yachts. But anyways, they're taking quite a lot of time, so they're probably considering a lot of options because right now, just like we've discussed, they get Gacha, they have Zushin, they have Bruno, a lot of options available, and they are going to be proceeding with Zushin and picking up a Chao. Sorry, Chip. It means Chao is going to the XP lane despite all the odds saying it was not the case.
Well, that's quite surprising. I did mention that they might go in for a chip, but then again, I think Chip is a great pick. He's a ticking time bomb, roaming in across the entire map. He can just pick up left and right on any other person, and you will always be, the unpredictable rotations which this hero can give out. He will always be on your heels. That where is he gonna appear next? I think Chip is a great pick, but then again, they lack kind of sustain, especially if Joe is planning to go for maybe pure damage build. I don't think so. He will be though. But then again, just look at the side of Team Giyattt. Akiyad Katutkacha also been picked up by them.
Hmm. Quite interesting choice so far. Just like you've already given out the insight. And picking up such beefy frontliners, just like you mentioned as well, I'm looking forward to what else they're going to be proceeding with. I don't really understand the Vixana ban because, I mean, you know, their team would have used a Vixana much better, but at the same time, okay, they're banning out the Fridrin as well. Looks like Team Astral Genesis have done some bit of homework and really don't want Giyattt to have any form of good of a jungler to their hands. Even Giyattt has banned out the alpha. Looks like both of the teams really don't want any jungling competition.
I mean, if you look at Team Giyattt, they do have a very, very aggressive, very great early game, especially considering the Katutkacha and the Hylos. So if they want to go in for an assassin, maybe a Link, which is quite open, and a Link can actually pick off our Zushin diving behind the lanes. But then again, like it's free for them. Even the Hilda is open, but no one actually went in for that. And I think the side of Team Astral Genesis, they did not want any more tank from the side of Team Giyattt. I mean, just imagine if they picked up a Fredrin with a Hylos and a Gadotkacha. It would be kind of a nightmare unless they pick up a Gary.
Yes, indeed, Asriya. And let's see, you're picking up the Xavier. I'm not sure if it's a Gojo Satoru or if it's Beyond the Clouds, but I'm going to be waiting for that. Other than this, let's see what are. I'm really looking forward to what Astro Genesis is cooking because right now they have the Chavi Explainer, and at the same time, you also have the chip onto the roaming position. Right now, your team is looking in a little bit of a weird spot because what is your game plan? What do you strategize? Because right now you have three crowd controls. You don't really have any damage yet. You don't really have the read, and who is supposed to be do the flanking properly. So the next two picks will decide the fate, and it's actually the Yin coming into the jungle and Harith into the goal lane. You know, um, I'm gonna be honest. This team does not work well. Like there's no synergy between them. Like I'm not sure because see, Chip will use the teleport, then his five people will come there, but Yin will take someone with him, so he'll be all alone. So it's like a counteract strategy. They're countering each other, and with that, Yushin coming into play as well. A lot of unconventional junglers. I mean, I'm really not sure because, but so far, Team Giyattt, they're looking strong, just like their Giyattt.
I mean, I think Vices is a great pick, especially because they do have a lot of sustain, a lot of guardians who can actually protect them. I mean, imagine Hylos with the ramp and Gadotkacha with the AOTG. They can zone away people so well, and especially Xavier being a mage who really does not need, especially towards the late game, to close up the distance. He can shoot you from afar. So yeah, it would be really, really hard for them to catch up onto a Xavier, especially when the front lane looks so protective. Same goes for our Granger. He also has that range from his ultimate, the Death Sonata. He can put people to death from quite a distance. And I think Voice's ultimate can be a really, really game changer right there because he provides the vision and AOTG comes in, Hylos follows up, and of course Granger and Xavier will always be there for the damage. So this might be something they might go for because the synergy in this team looks really, really great to me. But then again, just like you mentioned, Astral Genesis, a draft looks really weird to me because Yin really needs to take away the Xavier or even the Granger, but they will be really far behind due to the range advantage.
Exactly, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the land of dawn. And it's going to be Team Astral Genesis and Team Giyattt facing off in this quarterfinals of Blazing Championship Season 1 and best of 3 series. First game, let's see which team can take a scoreboard and lead the series. Anyways, all of the team members are going into their respective lanes and talking about their lane matchup. I feel like Giyattt would have a little bit more better time, but okay, Tushin getting poked out a little bit into the mid lane and they're just going to be proceeding back probably. Outdoor playing very aggressive right into the early game while being a damage,
Oh?
not a good option. Gets taken down first blood immediately, but okay,
Oh.
there's great stun coming in from Chip as well. Zushin was able to lift them up, but okay, the revitalize comes in handy and they retreat.
And just look at Zeno just taking over level 4 our vices, and then again, that's what we were talking about. Yin actually trying to take away on a Gadokacha. I do not think so. You should be doing that. Granger should be his priority right there because, especially, he did receive a kill, a support right in the top lane. And with that, I really want to say that Harcho just dived in between so much CC, between so much damage. Even though they know the aggro from the side of Team Giyattt is really immense at this point, they really need to play it safe.
Okay, on to the bot lane. There is a skirmish happening. Yin does take Giyattt Kacha inside. Not really sure about that, but Giyattt Kacha is taken down quite low. He might be able to take him down inside that domain, but Giyattt Kacha survives. Yin might not be able to.
Oh.
He goes into the bush, taken down, and Chow is not able to provide anything his team really needs because I feel like a roamer position would have been much better, but right now Team Giyattt are much better in leading off the game as well as taking down Israel. And I just want to mention that, like, right in this Land of Dawn, we are seeing Gojo Satoru, Megatron, uh, Eren from Attack on Titan, as well as Shiryu from Chow's Kid. Like, there are 4 enemies right now.
Well, true, and if you ask me, I might sound biased, but I do not think so. Team Giyattt will actually have a good time in this game.
Okay. Oh, how I wish I could see what Ian is doing inside. I can't really see what he's doing with the Giyattt inside. But anyways, okay, Zushin gets taken down as well. Giyattt Kacha comes in with the AOG, and it's not looking good, especially for the team Astral Genesis because they've only got 1 kill, and it was the Hylos who is the roamer. So it's not really that much of you know any advantage that they have. And Yushin Shin, I really like your name.
And yeah, especially Bias being a late game hero, and yet just look at him already with 4 kills onto his hand. At this point, even if he goes in for a Sky Piercer, I wouldn't be amazed because he is doing pretty well. He has those dashes, and even when you're weak, you are still able to grab onto so many kills. That itself shows that how the side of Team Astral Genesis might be
Um,
lagging, especially towards the late game. I mean, just look at them. They have a Xavier, they have a Granger, they have a Vice as 3 of the people who will actually be scaling towards the late game.
yeah,
And
they have
yet,
a lot
Team
of team.
Astral Genesis are kind of on a losing side right now. And especially if you see Joe, he wasn't even level 4 and still he's trying to, go in with the kills. So they need to have some synergy maybe.
Okay, really great pickup coming in from Yin
Oh.
and Zushin coming in with the backup as well. Yushin Shin finally gets a shut down as well as high loss. AOG does come in, but there might not be sufficient enough damage. Granger coming into the scene secures the kill onto Zentoria and he'll be retreating as well. Zushin wants a little bit more, but she just doesn't have sufficient enough damage and Yin would be starting up the Lord. Sorry, Turtle.
I mean, just look at the Granger. Granger might be taken down right there because Harith is after him, but he actually flickers away. It's happening off camera. And just look at how low our Granger manages to survive. But then again, it is a turtle for Choso. And then that was kind of a trade-off right there. I wasn't expecting it. I was just saying that Team Giyattt is doing really well with the early, but then that pickup right there in the top lane was kind of actually really amazing. And just look at our Vices, like I mentioned before, he already has that Sky Piercer, a lot of stacks onto it, and he's going for the Vorax next. So yeah, he has a lot of farm, maybe the highest farm between every member right there. And with that, just invading the buffs right there. What can even Team Astral Genesis do at this point? Because they do not have that burst potential. They do not have enough CC. And Zushin actually really great for the early game, but then again, she really needs some frontliners to tank it up for her. But that is something she's kind of denied from. So Team Astral Genesis need to play safe.
Okay, there's the Hylos with the Glorious pathway coming in. Okay, AOG being dropped down as well. Yin gets taken down by Wanna Scratch My Ball. Okay, Giyattt going in with the Unbreakable Taunt, wants to take down the Zushin. She uses the Crimson Beacon and she's able to get out of the situation. Okay, Granger coming into the scene as well. He is using the Jet Sonata, doesn't really get anybody, and okay, they will just disengage. Into the bot lane, there is Tao as well as Giyattt. They're fighting it off a little bit. Tao might get taken down here because he's getting zoned in quite strong. But okay, I think he should probably retreat.
I mean, and this will be the first turret down in the game, and it will be the side of Team Giyattt giving themselves that macro gameplay, taking away your tower. But then again, whenever Granger in this skin uses his ultimate, I'm like, just look at him, tank Granger. and
Yep.
and Harit actually doing well against a Granger, but then again, the support isn't enough, and Granger really needs to be shut down from the side of Team Astral Genesis because he will be scaling off quite hard. And then if you see, even if you see when Chip is there, you really want those unexpected rotations, unpredictable rotations. Especially he can just go towards the orange or the blue path, pick up on the voices, but that's not happening.
Exactly. And okay, AOG coming into the blue buff. Chip already gets taken down. Yin was the next in the chopping block, and he's getting taken down as well. And looks like Team Giyattt, they just are showing off the dominance. And a fun fact about the Megatron skin of, okay, I'll tell the fun fact later because looks like the mid turret is in jeopardy and it's gonna get taken down as well. Oh yeah, the fun fact is in the Megatron skin of Granger, if you use your ult, all right, Rose Gold by Granger. That is a good item. Okay, he missed out it completely, but
Oh.
Xavier was the one with the correct snipe and takes Harith down. And okay, the fun fact is, once you use the ult on Megatron skin of Granger, and you do not use any skills, you can be tank until the game ends.
Okay. But then again, just look at the equipments right there. Weiss is so far ahead into the gold. 6,000 onto his name. Gone in for the Vorax and the Fury Hammer. He might be going in for maybe the Hunter Strike. But then again, let's just see what goes because the damage from Xavier is also pretty good. You just look at him. 3 of his equipments well done at this point. And Joe not looking in a good position. Like he has bought the Dreadnought armor for our YSS, but then again, he's kind of losing it out to the Giyattt. Maybe prioritizing an anti-healer, maybe the Radiant could do him better. And just like I mentioned, just look at the engage.
Chip already gets taken down, does not even get to use the shortcut. And I'm not really understanding like the topic at all, but okay, I'm falling for you, will fall for Harith and gets taken down. I mean, he did not build Thunderbelt. You're going to the XP lane as a Chao and you want to build a tank, build up the Thunderbelt so you can get a little bit of damage from the true damage passive, but he did not really go for it. They immediately prioritized defense. So I don't really understand their decision. They could have really pushed Tao into the roaming position, but if you wanted to pick up Chip, it feels like their decision was quite of a last minute and it felt more of a rough decision rather than a planned one, right? Because he's going full tank build.
True. Thunderbelt actually a great equipment. Do not miss it out, guys. Especially with Joe. And then again, look at Hylos. No one even knows he's there. Just silently waiting for someone to come by. And I think at this point, 9 minutes into the game, that 6k core laid on the hands of Team Giyattt for the macro. Also looking great. 3 turrets into the name. Meanwhile, just look at them. Not even a single turret touched. And so I
Exactly.
think Team Astral Genesis need to wait it out. Their only hope now lies on the Harith because he's the only one with the damage potential. Our Zushin, she's the queen of the early game, but the early game has actually gone by. Same goes for Joe, he's going for the tank people. And the rest of the people are actually tanks. So I think the entire game actually lies in the hands of Harith. So the team needs to provide that space which Harith needs.
Okay, into the Lord Pit. Let's see. Okay, Ziver already takes on Zentoria onto the chip. Wanna scratch my Ye Shin will be able to get the kill. Sorry, and the Lord easily. Chao is not gonna be able to sustain any damage because he doesn't have any magical sustain, and he's gonna be taking a lot of damage from Xavier, Gatot, and Hylas combined. Harit is the only one left, but will he be able to survive? Because I feel like he might be able to get taken down right now. Monster kill for this Yushan Shin, and with that, Team Giyattt are just leading on and on and on, and the Lord is marching down into the bot lane as well. They do not have good wave clear. Harit is the only one with decent wave clear, and they're gonna have a lot of hard time with all these minions coming in.
Said 99% of the time it's dropped. In what do you have which takes to stop the vices? What do you have which can lock down a Xavier? Oh, Yin! Finally, as I spoke, he took Yin into the domain, and Xavier will be taken out, but Yin looks to be in a compromised position, so
Okay. Triple kill for Yu Shin, but he gets a shutdown for that overextension. Alright, Hylos are a little bit too deep. Who will be able to retreat? Zaman form being used, Crimson Beacon coming in, AOG to retreat. And they will just disengage. But it looks like a very one-sided game for Team Giyattt right now because they're leading very well. And it looks like into the next Lord Pit, I feel like this might be the end because it's just the fact that their draft does not really synergize, at least in my humble opinion. And because of it, I feel like Team Astral Genesiz, the first game, they might be giving it out. And hopefully, into the game number 2, which we'll probably see, I see something new coming into their play, or maybe they're just testing the waters and do not want to show up all their cards just yet. We'll have to see.
I mean, just look at Vices right now. He has gone in for a Malefic gun. That's kind of new to me because I do not see Vices going in for a Malefic gun. But then again, he's on to his last equipment. That's how much farm this guy has. And at this point, Team Astral Genesis kind of boxed in inside their inhibitor. Only 3 of the turrets remaining. Will they be able to actually save it up? Because, just like I mentioned before, Zushin is a great mate for the early. But then again, you really need a front. You need someone who can actually protect her while she tries to build up her stacks onto people, but then she will just be getting one-shotted by people left and right, and the taunts and the stuns coming from Hylos and Gatot, they are a huge, massive barrier which they somehow need to pass across. They need to gap. I mean, at this point, even Chip, like, he's the one who can actually make the game, if you ask me. Might be just try to teleport at some point and just go for the flanks. Set up a flank gang for your entire team. Take down the Granger, take down the YSS, or else it's kind of a wasted pick right now.
Indeed. And with that, the next Lord, which is the Luminous one, will be spawning in a few minutes. Not sorry, few minutes. It is already spawned in, and I don't think Team Astral Genesis is in any position to compete for it. And they will be just be giving out because the damage coming in from Giyattt is a little bit too strong, and they've already finished up the Lord as I speak this sentence. And with that, the Lord will be marching down probably into the top lane because they do not have the inhibitor and the base is a little exposed. Let's see if Team Astral Genesis will be able to defend it because I feel like their lane clear is very weak right now.
I mean, true, the draft looks really weak, really weird. Even so, he really needs to dive behind the lane strike to pick off on someone. Because just look at Xavier, he doesn't even have a Purify, nor does the Granger, because usually whenever the enemy picks up Joe, like the squishies always, it's like auto go pick a Purify. But they're so confident right now, and of course the confidence is provided by the tanks they have. I mean, just look at the immobilized damage at this point coming from Xavier. 14 minutes into the game, they have a lot of gold into their hands in more than almost 10k lead. And this is a heavy lot marching down from the top lane. They couldn't even protect the top inhibitor, was taken down by simple minions. So, clearing out the veins, let's just see how it goes because the Lord is right there, right?
Exactly. And with that, the Lord is already marching down Granger using the Death Sonata as well as the alright. There's a teleportation being used. I am not sure what was that decision, but looks like okay. Even the Gojo Satoru escaped attack on Titan Eren, and look with that, in 14 minutes into the game, Team Giyattt will be securing game number 1.
I towards the end, did you see what happened right there? I mean,
Yep, I did.
there was this guy. I don't know. Was it the Hybrid or maybe
Yes.
someone who was really low on their HP, and he was trying to go towards the fountain to heal up, but then the portal comes up, and then instead of going back for the heal, he just went behind the scenes and was taken down pretty easily. So it was
Yep.
hilarious.
I can relate. This is why do not give a randoms tip ever. Happened with me once. I was walking back to the base while I was 1 HP, and then there was a teleportation in front of me. I just dashed straight into it in 5 enemies' place. So yeah, it happens. It was a mistake on their end, but nothing much to say about this game. I feel like the draft was very lacking. It was not. There was no synchronization. I mean, it's not the fact that they lack synergy, more of the fact that their draft just doesn't speak any volumes against a team where you're facing two of the really tanky boys, that is the Hylos and Giyattt, as well as the fact that the Granger is coming into play as well, despite his presence not being that felt. Yeah, I feel like they shouldn't have picked up such weird combination of heroes together. It did not work out.
Well, true, but then again, let's just see what they do into the next game because this is the best of three, and probably most of the teams actually try to test the waters. So, with this, ladies and gentlemen, we will be going in for a short break. Just stay tuned for the next match.
Do I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it? Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No.
How far will they
Without
miss
this
out?
competition,
Guess we'll have to
I would have never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end.
One spark is all it takes to ignite the stars!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Blazing Championship Season 1. And after all, we will be heading straight back into the quarterfinals, best of three series game number 2 between Team Astral Genesiz and Team Giyattt. Giyattt is already leading with 1 match point, and we'll have to see if they'll be able to do a clean sweep, or Team Astral Genesiz just have some cards up their sleeves that they're not showing it because it's too deep down there. But anyways, I am Ray, your caster again, and joining me would be the beautiful Asiya herself on the casting desk. So, Asiya, hello there. Don't worry, she'll be right back without any issues, and we should be heading straight into the draft quite soon. And I'm looking forward to what Team Astral Genesis can really do, because if they do not come up with a proper response, a proper lineup this time, I feel like they just might be losing out in this clean sweep. After all, this is quarterfinals, ladies and gentlemen, and they'll have to make sure they pull up their best game. And in the previous one, the draft was a little bit confusing, especially considering the fact that they went in for the Chow over so many other heroes available, and even in the fact that they sent Chow into the XP, not really something much of a something you should consider. Maybe a little bit too much Tetsuya inspired. We'll have to see. But at the same time, let's see what they proceed with the bans. I'll probably see the same bans paying a huge emphasis onto the jungler role, and I'll be just waiting for my dear Asuya with her cute voice. She'll be coming back here soon. But till then, let's just let's just talk about the previous game. Into the previous game, there's nothing much to say. What I will basically say is that into the draft, they picked up the Chow, a huge mistake, because you want to use the Chow a little bit later. Unless your Chow player is heavily committed and you're very sure that the Way of the Dragon will be connecting into the proper target, you should be able to lock in only first deb. But other than that, I feel like a Chow first pick, it rarely works out, because you had the Phobius, it was open, but you did not take it. You had the Garutkata, you had the Hylos, but you did not go for any of them. And you could have went in for the chip first pick, but they did not go in for that either. There was also the Granger, and yep, there were a lot of more better options, but they went in for perhaps the Comfort Hero, perhaps they were experimenting something, or perhaps they just wanted to hide their card, just like I mentioned previously. So with that, we're just going to be seeing the draft is basically the same, but I'm seeing the Kufra making a slight bit of a view. I'm not really sure why, because in the previous game the Kufra was not banned out, but yeah, just perhaps just wants to use up a ban slot with anything. But anyways, with that, we're going to be finishing off the draft. Same ban section from Astral Genesis. And with that, Team Giyattt, first pick. Let's see what they have in store for us. They have a lot of heroes open right now. There is the Granger, there is the Bruno, and there is, as well as the all of the fighters still available. Let's see what Team Giyattt really wants to go for, because I feel like they are much more better equipped with the meta. And I'm waiting a few seconds. Let's see what they pick up. All right, it's gonna be the Hylos. Looks like they really like having the emphasis into the Centaur, not to mention the horse. Because of that, we're going to be seeing Giyattt, picking up the Giyattt, the horse Giyattt. But anyways, the Granger as well as the Joy is left out open. Oh, okay, understand. Giyattt might be looking to pick up the Joy later on. That's the reason perhaps they bagged out the Kufra. And okay, Astral Genesis this time, they are picking up the Alpha and the Garudacha. Two good picks this time around, having better options left out open for them. And with that, we're seeing these two heroes making their debut into this game. And I'm just gonna be waiting for a while, because I really need to see what type of strategy they would really want to go for. Right now, Granger is still left out open, and so is the Bruno. It's really surprising to me that Bruno was left out open in the previous game, as well as the second game, and none of these teams have picked him out yet. Perhaps they are not that comfortable bringing up with the Bruno, which is a little confusing to me, because Bruno is much more simpler in mechanics than the Lara itself. You dash in, you dash out, you use the balls. So All right, finally. Now it makes sense. They're going up with the Bruno, the classic standard pick into the meta right now. And you also have the Vexana coming into the play, who is going to be providing the Deathly Grass and Eternal Guard. So Alpha will have to watch out a little bit for all the crowd control coming in. But okay, Astro Genesis finally coming off with a new page and giving us a good draft this game. And they're making use of the Granger. Let's see how much of a use they will be able to do so. And looks like my good
And
kid Astria is finally back. Hello, Astria.
everyone, I'm sorry, kind of got a delay, but then again, I'm seeing the draft. Both the drafts looking really great, especially Team Giyattt once again picking up a Vexana along with a Bruno. Like both of them looking really great, especially with the Bruno because in the last game, even though the side of Team Astral Genesis, they did a lot of late game firepower. I mean, they did have a Harith, but then they
Astria,
had a Zushin. Yeah.
you're breathing quite hard. Looks like you just catch the train. Don't worry. I'll be taking it up for a few seconds. You just catch your breath, all right? No issues. It's all right. Sometimes we got to pick up a train. We are running a little bit late, so it's all right. It's fine. But, anyways, till Astria catches her breath and relaxes, I'll be here. And with that, we are already done with the first three priority
Um,
picks. All right.
I'm actually fine. What I was gonna say is that Bruno, he does have a Hylos in front to protect him, so I think he will be having a great time farming. But then again, let's just see what the rest of the picks are from the side of Team Giyattt because an Alpha and Gadot are already on the side of Team Astral Genesis, and they're already giving the Granger a team a PV front to actually farm up the space and time is there for him. Let's just see what happens because just look at them. They do not want a Slayer to go against an Alpha, so Alpha will be banned out.
This game looks like completely different game. It does because I'm seeing a Kufra band and a Zask band. It doesn't make sense. It was not banned out in the first game. Why would it be picked in the second game? Well, when you're meeting new teams, you really meet new strategies. But other than that, Astro Genesis is just following their previous games draft. Look at that Hayabusa, Sicilian, Fanny, Joy, and Suyo, all of the heroes that were not available into the previous, were banned out in the previous game as well, and they're being banned out into this game as well. So it looks like they really want to choke on these heroes as much as possible. And with that, we're going to be closing off the draft soon, as Team Giyattt will be deciding what hero do they not want, because right now they can ban out another jungler, but no, it's going to be the chip, which I don't really feel like could have been a good use because but anyways, this time they air the alpha. So I guess they're just being a little precautious. They don't want to give Astral Genesis the benefit of the doubt, and they're just going to be banning it out.
Yes, all the drafts, all the bans being set in right there, but then again, the mage ban, a Zask. It's really weird to me because if the enemy actually goes in for a Zask, Vexana should be having a really wonderful time because her passive gets another minion to explode. Then again, let's just see maybe panning out a freeze, maybe an aura could have been a better option. But then again, there are so many mages out onto the graph, especially if you go in for a Farsa. She can actually beat the artillery who can use that long range with her ultimate to snap down Bruno. So I think the Zask ban is kind of unnecessary. But then again, both the drawers are actually looking strong. I mean, just look at Astral Genesis going in for a Tigreal, a lot of CC onto their hands. But this also implies that the side of Bruno, or like especially Vexana, she will be with a Purify, actually diffusing the bomb, the CC which Astral Genesis has.
Yeah, and with that, we are seeing that I was just about to say the wrong word. Anyways, High Grill coming into the play, and all right, you've given a great insight, Astrid, and I'm just looking forward to what the last two picks is going to be. Are we going to be seeing a Yushin Shin coming into the play? I feel like this is a really good game for Xborg because you are immune to Tigreal when you're spinning. And also the fact that you can easily melt down the Katutkacha. Okay, no, the Fredrin was open and it's going to get picked right away for Team Giyattt. And as well as they pick up the Rafaela to give the support to the Fredrin really, really needs to charge up his Appraiser's Rat. So a really good composition for Team Giyattt again. And Astral Genesis, they're just no offense, but they're like completely copying the draft the Team Giyattt just picked up in the previous game.
I mean, Rafaela actually paired up with a Fredrin goes wonders because Fredrin is really great meta, especially climbing up right now with the damage. With the taunts, he can build complete tank, and the Appraiser's Rod can actually dish out a lot of damage. But what he lacks is the mobility, and that mobility will be provided by the speed up, which is from Rafaela. So let's just see what happens because. In this game, though, there is one catch that once again Xavier and as well as our Granger, they will be pretty far ahead into the game because they have the range advantage. And meanwhile, for the side of Team Guard, they do not have anyone who can actually reach behind the scenes, dive in, and take down these backliners. So let's just see how Team Guard is able to do it because without taking down the Xavier as well as the Granger, especially towards the late game, they might be facing some trouble.
But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be heading straight into the land of dawn, and it's Team Giyattt versus Team Astral Genesiz, game number 2 of this best of 3 series of tonight. Let's see if this is going to be a clean sweep or Team Astral Genesiz might be able to surprise me with a comeback. But anyways, straight into the game. Both of the drafts being finalized, and all of the members are going into respective lanes. And with that, Asuya, which team's draft are you liking slightly a little bit more?
Well, if you ask me, Team Astral Genesis looks to be stronger in this draft, honestly, because they have three tanky people right there with the Alpha, with the Tigreal, and also the Kadotkacha, three of the meta picks right there. And they can easily provide the space and time the damage dealers need.
Okay, into the top lane. We're seeing the Alpha trying to just poke in the high loss. I feel like the EXP pressure should be more into the hands of Team Astral Genesis, especially considering the fact that Fredrin is much better to secure the turtle because he had the Appraisal Wrath plus the Retribution combo. And because of it, I think they should pressure the high lows. But looks like Alpha just has a different plan because look at him. He's right now into the mid lane push. Might be able to take down the Vexana because I feel like the play would be coming on quite soon. Let's see if he wants to commit to it. Vexana though, that is great map awareness. He's not quite going into the bush quite yet, waiting for the teammate. But okay, Unbreakable Taunt coming in as well. There's heal coming in, there's the Deathly Grass and the Eternal Guard being used up. Great retreat, AOG being used, and they dodge it without any issues. That was a great engage from Astral Genesis, but Team, yeah, they just had the better overall disengage equipment. But right now, into the turtle, there is the Hylos coming in with the glorious pathway. Vexana, you better watch out because you're gonna get first blood, and the turtle goes into the hands of Alpha. It praises Red, fully lands in, but it doesn't really matter because Hylos is gonna fall in, and Fredrin, despite his best efforts, will get taken down. Hades securing a triple kill, and I feel like that was a misplay from Oi.
I mean, this is what I was talking about. For the side of Team Astral Genesis, to have an Alpha, as well as a Tigreal and the Gadot they will be able to provide a lot of snowball, which Granger needs, which our Xavier needs. I mean, look at him already with the triple kill, getting a lot of farm into his hands. He will be having an easy time right now. Meanwhile, like from the side of Team Giyattt, they do have two frontliners, but then again, in that team fight, in that rotation right there, in the early team fight, if you saw Gadotkacha actually came in trying to dish out some damage, trying to provide the support the team needs, but Hylos, he just decided to cut the lane, so I think that was kind of a miscommunication because you really need Hylos for the upfronts, for the initiations. Rafaela is just the utility support, especially before she gets those items. Like our Flask of Voices, her healing won't even be enough.
Indeed, Rafaela is more of a utility. That is a good point that you mentioned, Asya, because many people think she's a healer. It's more of a utility. But anyways, into the bot lane, Eternal Guard coming in, and the Tigreal doesn't really get caught into the Appraiser's Wrath. The Dawning Light does come in into the scene as well, and looks like Team Giyattt will try to retreat. Vexana forced to retreat, but Retribution being used up by the Alpha as they finally do a disengage. But Tigreal looks like he wants to go in for an engage, possibly. Bruno getting really poked in by this Granger right now, and Rafaela might get taken down right here because Zeno will be taking the kill, but Rafaela with the passive sniper coming in. I did not understand why Gojo did not save his teammate. He could have stand in front and took the damage. He's full HP, but Granger got taken down, and this turtle will go into the hands of Astral Genesiz. That is a lot of miscommunication on the hands of Astral Genesiz, I feel like, because you don't want your gold later to get taken down by Rafaela's passive. Like, that is like one of the most, like, not that
Dumb
kind
ways
of
to die.
impactful passive. Yeah. Dumb ways to die.
Yeah, but then again, the team fight still looked to be in the hands of Team Astral Genesis because the turtle is secured by them. They have a 1k gold lead as for now. The scoreboard also looks to be in their favor. Meanwhile, Halos in a very tight situation. Oh,
Okay, there is the engage coming into the high loss, and he gets taken down immediately. The backup coming in from Xavier has been quite great into this game. And okay, bot lane, Tiger getting poked a little bit, but Granger is like, I can do a little bit better with his Rhapsody. And with that, not much of an engage just quite yet.
I mean, what can I say? Red not getting the farm he needs. The team needs those turtles, but then again, the initiations are not enough because they really need a high loss for those initiations. I mean, just look at Bruno.
Okay, Bruno might get taken down here because Sigurd is coming up with the Sacred Hammer.
Hello?
There is a good engage coming in from Rafaela. She does survive but does not dodge the upcoming dawning light, but Alpha will get caught in that scramble and get taken down. And with that, alright, Granger might be able to take down, but alright, Fredrin was able to hide up in the bush, just like Tigreal says, but okay, Xavier uses a flicker to get out of the Appraiser's Wrath and will be able to retreat, but they do secure the bot lane turret.
I mean, they did have an upper hand right there, but then when Alpha died, I think they should have just retreated. Especially our Granger actually heading in, trying to get that kill, greedy for it. He got taunted and was taken down. This is something he really do not need, especially on a Granger in the early game, because he really needs some stacks before he can use his skills kind of without any CD. But then again, the game which was looking in the side of Team Astral Genesis actually looks a bit more favorable for the side of Team Giyattt right now, even though they do have a back front in the goal lead, but then again, high loss.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like they could have done a clean sweep, but this time there's a lot of miscommunications and a lot of mistakes happening due to the fact that Bruno is just not having the best of his time. Okay, AOG might be coming into the mid lane, and alright, Eternal God being used up as well. Tigreal retreats with the flicker. Vexana gets taken down, and right now, they will be forced to retreat. Looks like giving out such valuable picks that led them to victory is gonna be the downfall for Team Giyattt, as they'll be losing out the last turtle as well.
You know, honestly, if you ask me, that was an overextension towards the top lane when Hylos was actually forcing the top lane along with Vexana. If instead these two people would have just decided to come and help towards the mid lane, I think the team fight would have been in the favor of Team Giyattt. But then that's what I'm saying. Why is Hylos, which is needed for the initiations, why is he stuck onto the top lane? I mean, just look at him. He has no intention to rotate. So I think at this point it's Team Astral Genesis who have a better rotation than Team Giyattt, and they are just picking people left and right solo, and it's kind of easy too for them because people are just offering themselves for the pickups.
Exactly. It's basically what's going on right now. I feel like the XP rotation is getting a little bit gapped due to the fact that Katukata has the AOT to come in from a farther distance, and Hylos might be a little bit late to join the team fight right now. And with that, they have already lost out. Okay, the tower trade is actually equal to my surprise, but okay, Alpha uses the spear, and Bruno not in a good position, gets taken down. Implosion being used on a few Natalias, but he will get punished for it. Do not do that. And with that, Katukata also jumped in. Glorious Potter being used in. Xavier with the dawning light into the mid lane. A lot of poking happening. There's the Revitalize coming into the play as well. It will be retreating finally, but they do lose out their goal laner again and again, and it's not really, doing that well. Okay, Flask of Voice is being used up, and it finally makes sense why that player Bruno. He has a name. Wanna scratch my balls? He really likes to play Bruno.
Well, I think Bruno is a great hero, but then again, like just look at him. He's so ahead of everyone. It feels like it's the Bruno who is the tank. And on top of that, if you see, Alpha is constantly trying to use the spear of Alpha onto Bruno. He's picking him off separately because just look at him. He's kind of all alone, presenting himself for the dish. So yeah, Bruno needs to play safe, especially he knows that there are so many people who are actually trying to target him now.
Yeah, that is one of the things. I feel like in previous game he was playing the Yishin Shin, and that aggression is carrying into this game. He does not have the farm, and he's playing a little bit too aggressive. He should probably get the Malefic done and maintain the distance as much as possible, because that's the only way you can do something about it. But okay, into the mid phase, there's the conceal play coming in. Let's see, okay, Granger and Bruno going into bot lane neck to neck. Let's see who'll be winning out. Granger does have the better poke, but Bruno has the better damage, and Bruno seems to be winning it out so far. We'll have to see. The Lord is up. Let's see who will first engage.
I mean, true, but then if you look at the macro, it's actually in the hands of Team Giyattt right now. They have, wait a second, Bruno in a way that fought once again.
Oh my god, that flicker play coming in from Granger was really clever, but that rose gold bought by Bruno?
Purified.
I saw a shield or something, but anyways. Yep, he does have the Rose Gold Meteor's recipe item, and because of that he was able to gain the shield. But anyways, might be an implosion play coming in soon. There is Vexana and Rafaela being caught into it. Glorious pathway being used up, and people are just falling in left and right. Bruno maintaining the distance, but will get knocked up by the Lord. A full 5-man wipeout of Astral Genesiz come in with the response, as they'll be able to take this Lord without any contest.
You know what's actually happening in these team fights? Like if you see, it's first the Tigreal who's trying to go in, land those implosions, especially because Astral Genesiz haven't even gone in for a Purify, only Bruno is the one who has it. Sorry. And then again, so he really wants that implosion onto the enemy, but somehow they actually managed to dodge it out, or maybe just counter him out with the Spear of Alpha. And even the Immobilize, which follows up from the Xavier, actually locks down the follow-up, which is coming from the side of Team Giyattt. And the last nail in the coffin is the AOTG, which is actually dropping down onto the priority targets right there, onto Vexana, onto Rafaela, onto Bruno, zoning them away so hard that they cannot even support. And then our Tigreal is actually, the Fredrin is actually taken down. And yeah, that's it for the entire team, because Rafaela is kind of squishy, she is a healer, and the rest of the team is actually being completely destroyed by the Giyattt Gacha and the last hits coming in from the Xavier's ultimate and also the Death Sonata.
Yeah, I feel like they could have probably went in for the Giyattt Gacha rather than the Hylos, considering the fact that they wanted to go with the Fredrin. They needed a little bit more crowd control, and that's basically what's happening right now, because Giyattt Gacha is just zoning them out really, really badly. And also the Vexana is more of a, Vexana counters out the Hylos, doesn't it? So why would you go in for the Hylos over the Giyattt Gacha? That decision did not make sense. Team Giyattt is making the draft mistakes that Team Astral Genesiz was doing in the first match. Looks like they might be a little bit too confident. They thought probably they would be able to do the clean sweep, but Astral Genesiz, it showed, like the first game, you did not have a few heroes, and we were forced to not reveal our card just yet. But into the second game, we are going in guns blazing, and we have the second pick. We picked the more heroes, and we have the better overall draft, and it's working out wonders for them. And with that, looking at the goal lead and everything, Team Astral Genesiz has the momentum.
I mean, true, 13 minutes into the game, and look at the goal lead into the hands of Team Astral Genesiz right now. Especially, I really love how Giyattt Gacha is actually dropping down with the AOTG onto the priority targets, zoning the team hard, splitting them apart, which is what they need to do. And just look at our Alpha as well as our Granger, both of them with the Sky Piercer. No wonder they're dishing out so much damage. And of course, Xavier, he's gone in for the standard build right there with the anti-heal and the lantern, dishing out a lot of damage. Just look at that. It is a really wonderful itemization, if you ask me, because there are kind of two tanks for the side of Team Giyattt.
Mm-hmm. And look at the gathering into the mid lane. They're really trying to capture the space. And Hylos, you better watch out. I'm sorry. I'm just I might be a little bit sleepy. And ladies and gentlemen, do not stay up too late. But anyways, let's see how late Team Giyattt will be able to take this game, because it's already 15 minutes into the game and Bruno just hasn't reached that power spike quite yet due to the farm difference they have created. But he will be able to get to level 15, and let's see if Bruno can create any impact. Okay, Marcia will be coming back soon, and Bruno with the recalls, pretty interesting. Just wants to show it to the dear viewers and the casters, like he is really confident he can do this, and they're just waiting with the TLPH emote, and we'll have to wait soon and see what happens. Right now, gold lead 8,000, 9,000, almost 10,000 into the hands of Astral Genesiz. And with that, the Lord is marching down onto the top lane. I just noticed that Astral Genesiz really like to focus onto the top lane. And let's see what happens.
I mean, true, like, Lord is also marching down. They might be losing out the inhibitors they have, because even the lane sync is done kind of perfectly from the side of Team Astral Genesiz. Just look at them.
The damage from the Xavier's Dawning Light is already proving a little bit too much for them, and the top inhibitor gets taken down. And alright, let's see. Vexana doesn't really have sufficient enough damage despite being a really good damage dealer. But okay, Bruno, you better watch out. Why isn't the heal from Rafaela sufficient enough? I'm not really sure. Like, I feel like at this stage of the game, her heal should have been a little bit better, but I feel like she's going a little bit too tanky. Didn't really buy too much magic, I feel like, because you really need the Enchanted and the Flask of Oasis to to get a lot of heals. Let's see.
There's a lot of anti-heal for the side of Team Astral Genesiz, especially if you see a Xavier with the anti-heal is already almost every time he's poking people, trying to immobilize them with this 1 and 2 combo. So yes, the heal kind of gets shut down by half. So she needs the Oracle. I wonder if she has built it, because that could actually help out. Same goes, no, just look at her. She doesn't have the Oracle. She's going for a complete tanky build right there. Same goes for a Hylos. You know, he does have a Revitalize, so this combo should actually be OP, but then again, the anti-heals from the side of Team Astral Genesiz is cutting at their only utility, the healers which they have picked it for. So I think her Hylos with an Oracle could actually give him a lot more sustain than he actually is already.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed, Astria. And right now, they're just trying to buy as many time. I feel like Bruno should be full build right now and be able to dish out a lot of damage, as well as the, as well as the, what do you say? I forgot. Okay, there's the Dawning Light coming in to the play, and Rose Gold Meteor being bought as well. And right now, let's see what is gonna happen. The Lord Pit, the Lord Dance should be coming up quite soon. And alright, let's see. The engage should be up, but Hylos is taken down quite low. There's the Glorious Pathway coming in. Xavier using up the old Vexana does get out of the situation, uses the Deathly Grasp as well as the Eternal Guard, but Hylos get taken down, and the Lord fight is still up right now. Xantoria does get taken down. Frigdrin is still engaging. Bruno does secure the kill, but the Lord will go into the hands of Alpha as Frigdrin gets taken down. And right now, alright, the Lord is marching down from the top lane into the base. Frigdrin, he's trying to buy out as much as time possible for his teammates to respawn soon. He is doing his absolute best. There's the Appraiser's Wrath. Okay, he does take down Alpha and his immortality being wasted, but he finally gets punished. But the amount of time he bought was impressive. But right now, the base is left exposed. The Vexana is the only one defending. Hylos coming in 4 seconds. Let's see if they're able to defend. Neoji coming in. Gadotkacha wants to go in for the base. He does use the Glorious Pathway. Will be able to force Gadotkacha to get taken down. All right, Winter Crown play coming in as well. Alpha retreated from the scene, and Bruno will be able to defend their base. All right, they defended.
Quite surprising how they actually managed to defend that. They are leading at this point, just trying to sustain, trying to maintain the solo crystal they have at their hands. But I think they do have a Vexana as well as a Bruno. So in this game, they have enough lane clear. But then again, will they be able to sustain the damage which is coming from our Xavier, which is coming from our Granger at this point?
Right. And Xavier as well as Granger right now, they're just really fed into this game. And they have a lot of more pressure compared to everyone else. And because of it, they're just not able to do what they really wanted to do. But the Bruno is able to take down Rangers, so there is a slight bit of hope for Team Giyattt. The game is already stretched to 20 minutes right now. And into the top lane, they should be a little bit aware. But alright, Hylos does force out just the alpha charge, not really much. Alright. Looks like Asia will be back soon. And nothing much is happening into the map right now. The side of Team Astral Genesiz, they're just waiting it out for the Lord, knowing well that this time Team Giyattt has a lot of good wave management, and due to that fact, they can hold off the base. So minions are not the source that they can end the base with. But on the other hand, they really want to finish it off soon as much as possible because the damage is slowly coming online. Vexana finally a full build. He'll be able to dish out a lot of damage. Bruno should probably sell out his boots and get something, perhaps a Wind of Nature, perhaps something to save himself from the damage onslaught of the Alpha or the Granger. But right now, the Lord competition is already up. Hylos trying to provide the vision, and let's see, the Lord does go into the hands of Astral Genesiz, and alright, it is a Mega Lord of 22 minutes. And no towers left. Team Giyattt, they're just not looking good right now. The damage and the spammability from Xavier is really strong at this point of the game. And I feel like this might be the end. Team Giyattt might just be forced to push to a game number 3, as they will not be able to do a clean sweep. The Lord is marching down into the base, and the base is completely exposed. Alpha wants to go in for the split push. The minions are already into the base as well. AOG coming into the Nexus, and Alpha will be able to finish off the base quite well because Bruno is just not getting the zone he needs, and this game will be pushed to game number 3.
Well, what a game. I mean, it did try their best to defend the base, but then again, I really love how Alpha and especially Akarut Kacha were always on the nick of time, always prioritizing which they really want to prioritize. And just like I mentioned before, from the side of Team Giyattt, they have nothing who can actually dive behind the lines, take down the Xavier, take down the Granger. I mean, just look at Xavier 5013. The way his damage, the way the Dawning Light was taking away the HP from the HP bars from the entire team, and no one could actually go in and take him down. And if he would have been, target locked, maybe taken down, the story might be something different. Same goes for the side of Team Giyattt. Like, they did have a lot of healers, but then why didn't they make oracles? Because just look at the amount of anti-heals from the side of Team Astral Genesiz cancelling it out. I mean, the whole entire point of the draft is that you have a lot of sustain, you have a lot of heal, right?
Exactly. They probably should have built up the oracle. There was a little bit of... I just feel like in this game they got a little bit confident and a little cocky because they gave out the Hylos the Kacha over the Hylos. It was not a good decision, especially considering the fact that they wanted to go in for the Vexana. right after. So because of it, I feel like there was a lot of missed drafts happening into the game as well. And also considering the fact that they also gave out the Granger, they were a little bit too confident. I feel like they went out Zask and Kufra for absolutely no reason, because into the first game they were open and there was no chance of them being picked up at this game as well, because there was no Fanny, no Joy being opened out as well. So I feel like they were a little bit too overconfident and they give Astral Genesiz the benefit of the doubt, and with that they are forcing a game number 3. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll go for a short break and we'll be right back with game number 3 between Team Astral Genesiz and Team Giyattt.
Do I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it?
Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No.
How far will they
Without
get
this
time?
competition,
Guess we'll have to
I would have never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Blazing Championship Season 1, and this is the last game, the third game of the best 3 series between Team Giyattt and Team Astral Genesiz. Team Astral Genesiz lost out the first game, and it looked like there could be a clean sweep coming in from the hands of Team Giyattt, but into the second game, Team Giyattt played a little bit confident, banned out unnecessary heroes that did not come into play, and they gave out a little bit too much of a potential heroes, and they were paying the price. And because of it, we are right now in game number 3, and let's see which team will be able to secure the victory, because right now both of the teams have the same score, 1-1, and we'll have to see which team comes out on top. And this time, Team Giyattt, they know you cannot underestimate Team Astral Genesiz, and we'll have to see if their draft really plays it off well, and we will finally see good competition from both ends. And anyways, I'm going to be your caster, Ray, and joining me would be Asuya. Should be coming back soon here as well. And with that, let's dive into the draft and let's see what happens into this game, because I'm looking really, really forward to it, because I feel like in the first game, Astral Genesiz was hiding their cards, and into the second game, Team Giyattt, they were playing a little bit confident. But this game, they know each other now. The cards have came out, everything has been spilled, and let's see the truth. And I'm just waiting up for the draft. And ladies and gentlemen, what are your predictions? You can comment down below as well if you're a friend of them. And looks like my dear Costa, my cute Asiya, is available right now. So Asiya,
Thank you for that intro, Ray. And yes, you know, like just like I mentioned before, in the first game when it is best of three, teams usually kind of test out the waters. And yeah, I think that's what they did because the first draft was kind of very, you know, it literally had zero synergy. And in the second game, they did show with all the picks they had that how well then they do with the picks, how well can they do with the synergy. And with that, just like you, even I'm waiting up for the draft because this is the third game. This is the game which will decide that which team will take the victory away to their team.
exactly. And you know, it just felt like in the previous games, one of each of the teams were holding back a little bit. Either they were not showing the cards or they were getting a little bit too confident. And because of it, we were not seeing the full potential. But hopefully into this game, we see something new, something brilliant coming in from both ends. Because I feel like I do see the potential, but I don't see the execution just quite yet. So I'm just waiting up for the draft and hopefully it comes up soon so we can really see what's going on. And till then, all right, into the previous game. I feel like the big mistake for Team Giyattt that they made was first off picking up Hyla. You guys were planning up to pick up a Vixana, or was it not pre-planned? Because if it was not pre-planned, you need to make sure your draft is much better regarding that. Because you guys just gave out the Gacha, who is much better at zoning out the Vixana as well as the Rockala itself. And because of it, it just felt a little lacking on that department. Hylos, despite being a really good front guard, he doesn't have the utility that AOG can provide. And if you do not have a counter for the Gacha, just pick him up or just ban him out. I did not understand the Zaku ban or the Kupra ban at all. So with that, let's see what happens into this game as well. And Asiya, how's the weather there?
Um, it is quite okay. A few days back it was -5 and we did have a lot of snowfall. But then the
Okay,
sun is back. It is pretty sunshiny and
all
warm.
right.
I mean, not exactly warm. But it is still cold, but at least you have the sun. And it's really nice to sit in the sun, bask in the sunlight, especially in the evening and the morning. Anyway, with that, I do not know
Evening.
what is the issue right there because the draft.
Okay. I think we'll take a technical pause, ladies and gentlemen, because it feels like the draft is taking a little bit long. So we'll take a short break, and we should be right back with the game and the draft itself.
Do I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it?
Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No.
How far will they get
Without this
time?
competition,
Guess we'll have to
I
wait
would
and
have
see.
never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end.
One spark is all it takes to ignite the stars!
And here we are back again onto the draft phase. And this is the best of three between Team Astral Genesiz and Team Giyattt. And with that, both the teams do have 1 point to the name, so this third match will be the matchmaking point. It will decide that which team will be going home and which team will be moving us ahead with us onto this tournament. And with that, once again, I am your caster Asiya, joined in by Ray. So, Ray, what do you think? What could be the draft? Because you did criticize the draft in the previous game quite a lot. So, do you think that will they learn it and ban out like pretty more sensible picks in this game?
Yeah, hopefully, because first game, Astral Genesis, they played. I feel like that, just like mentioned, that was a testing the waters kind of match. Because I felt like they were holding back because they knew that Team Giyattt would be underestimating that, and that is basically what happened. Because of it, Team Giyattt, they banned out Kufra and Zaz, two heroes that you'd never see in the banned section anymore, because they're really situational picks and can really only work with situational drafts. And it did not make sense why they banned those heroes out instead of the Gatotkacha or the Granger, because it's so likely those heroes are going to get picked this time because they were open and you utilize them. So I did not understand what sense they were going for. So because of it, hopefully Team Giyattt has learned their mistakes, because right now, this time, they are the second pick, so they have the upper hand. But anyways, Astral Genesis, a great draft onto the previous game, and I feel like this game as well, they can pull off something really good.
I mean, true, Bruno is open. Then again, Bruno was picked up in the first game, and like he couldn't do much like in the second game, but the impact wasn't enough, especially because the team draft wasn't sensible enough. So let's just see, will Astral Genesis go in for Bruno? But no, they will be going in, locking down onto the Alpha. I think Alpha is a great pick because not only does he have that early game aggro, the early game sustain, the speed which he has coming from the farm, he can also dish out a lot of damage, especially towards the late game too, with the true damage he has. If the enemy goes in for a lot of tanky heroes like a Hylos, wait, Hylos is banned out. Like even if they decide to go in for a lot of tanky picks, maybe a Kadot Gacha. So Alpha can counter out quite a lot.
Indeed, actually, yeah. And we'll have to wait out and see what they're going to be picking up. All right. This time, Team Giyattt have the second pick. So at the same time, Astral Genesis, they are going in with their good old reliable. And finally, look at them, Team Giyattt. Finally, they understood that in the previous game, Ranger and Gatotkacha were the bigger threats that they were facing, and because of it, they'll be picking it up. But at the same time, Team Astral Genesis, they are just picking up all the heroes that also carried them into the previous game, the Xavier, as well as the Bruno coming into play. But I would have really loved to see that Giyattt would pick up the Lolita, right? A little bit later on, not right now, a little bit later, so they can easily counter out this Xavier and Bruno. Let's see what happens, right?
I mean, Lolita, of course, she's actually the best counter towards the Granger because even whenever I go into the ranks and there is a Granger, I just pick a Lolita. And yes, the bomb has been defused. And finally, I was screaming in the first game why a Hilda hasn't been picked up. And finally, Team Giyattt will be going in for this queen, our wild queen right there. And just look at them. The early game, once again, from the side of Team Giyattt looks to be amazing. Meanwhile, Astrogenesis, they really need to counter out our Hilda and also the Kacha because Xavier needs farm, Bruno needs farm, and if Alpha isn't able to snowball the game, if they're not able to provide the time and space which these two people, the main damage dealers, need to have before they start to dish out some damage, then Astral Genesis might be in a clutch.
Indeed, Asya, this time overall, Team Giyattt, they're looking like they're going in guns blazing, picking up the Hilda finally, a hero that has been left out open for last two games. They did not pick it, but this time she's coming into play, and let's see what she can do into this game, because after all, it would depend on the player's aggression as well as the defensive play, because you really want to make sure you're playing aggressive, but at the same time, you're not going overboard with it. But all right, looking at the draft this time, especially into the band section, I'm seeing a Carmilla coming into the play. Something you not really see, but is that Carmilla a precaution? Because Team Giyattt, are they looking to pick up a chip, or is this a bait for Astral Genesis to pick up a chip?
We'll never know because just look at the two CC heroes, the wide area CCs has been banned away, and Chip is open just like you said. And if Chip uses the teleport, the shortcut, and if your team does have a Carmela or a Tigreal, it will be kind of a free implosion, free curse of blood for them onto a lot of people. So it might be a bait because even we are getting baited at this point, not gonna lie. But then again, the Suyo is open, so no wait, Suyo has been banned out. Choi has also been banned out. So I'm kind of curious as to what will be the jungler pick from the side of Team Giyattt. They might even go in for a Bane, but then like Bane can counter out the Alpha, but the range which will be coming in from the Bruno and Xavier cannot be countered out. So maybe picking up a Farsa could actually be a really great pick here because AOTG they can dive in. Hilda can also be the one who is initiating, trying to tank out for a while, and then the artillery coming in form of Farsa can be a really great for the team card. But then they will be going in for Vexana. Well, she is a queen after all, a great damage dealer. The lane clear is really fast, but
Mhm.
I really prefer to see a Farsa.
Yeah, Arsa could have, yeah, really played into the well for Team Giyattt, especially because they have to go to Kacha, but it looks like we'll get denied of it. They're just picking up the Vexana for a precaution for high loss, if I'm not wrong, because they just want to make sure there is no high loss or horror business is coming into the play here. And because of it, I feel like that is just a safety option. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to what is going to be the last two picks because I feel like the chip is still quite open. Is this a bait or a bait or not? We'll have to find out soon. So far, I think, yeah, they have their jungler left out open, and Fredrin is still left. I feel like Fredrin really performed well, but it's just the team composition was a little lacking, and the opposing team just had it better overall draft. And due to that, the effectiveness was not coming. But okay, Astral Genesiz, they're coming up with the Kufra and a Phobius. Pretty interesting coming into the play. I was criticizing them for, you know, not banning out banning out Kufra into the previous game. And this time I'm going to criticize them for not banning out Kufra. Because if you know they have a Kufra, why are you banning out a Carmilla? Because I don't feel like your team composition is weak to a Carmilla, especially considering the fact that there is no chip. There is no chip in your team. Most of your teammates can run away anytime Carmilla uses the curse of the blood. Like look at it, Gatot has AOG and Unbreakable. Hilda has movement speed, and right now they're picking up the link. So I did not understand why did they ban out the Carmilla over the Kufra. Pretty interesting, but a really good improvement. Astral Genesis, finally, they have a really good draft. And picking up Phobia TXP, this match is going to be interesting finally.
You know, I was just gonna say the link is open, so and I was kind of sure that Team Guard they might be going in for an assassin jungler right there because they picked up the Hilda and Hilda is a menace to our assassins we all know. Same goes for the good old Kacha. Even he can join in for the early game aggro with that. His taunt and his passive is absolutely crazy. So yeah, I think the same thing went into the heads of Team Astral Genesis. They kind of predicted that there might be a link coming in because what is the jungler even left for them? Bane was left out, Hayabusa is banned out, Suya is banned out, Alpha is not onto the grab. What else? So yeah, I think that was a really smart move. And with that, like especially Mobius will be benefiting quite a lot into this game because Hilda can dash, like our Gitukacha will be dashing quite a lot. Xavier can dash, of course Link, he literally survives on those dashes. So yeah, a really great game, a really delicious game for our Mobius.
Yeah,
So yeah, both the
really.
drafts are really set in, but then Ray, I really want to ask you which draft do you like more because at this point I really love both of them.
Hmm. Well, I'll answer your question soon because of here we're heading into the land of dawn for Blazing Championship Season 1 quarterfinals. And this is the best of three final game being stretched out. And it's Astral Genesis versus Team Giyattt. Let's see who wins out this series post game three. And with that, to answer your question, I'll be going with Astral Genesis draft because I feel like they have a lot of crowd control and a lot of good options. But at the same time, I won't underestimate the Link because he can easily take down Xavier. And okay,
True, but just look at the engages poking happening left and right. I think the team, even though they have counter picked each other, but then again, there is someone or there is something which actually counters the counter pick which is picked informed the enemy. I mean, like there is a Kufra for the link. But then again, there will be a Vexana terrorizing him, trying to stun lock him for a few seconds if she actually prioritizes him. Meanwhile, the Ling actually takes down the priority target, so yeah, it actually comes down to the execution.
Exactly. Top lane, Tempest Blade being used. Alpha wants to go in, wants to take someone down, and okay, the first one into the list, the first blood, might be coming up quite soon. But looks like both of the teams playing the safe game. Kofra coming into the play as well. Does not commit to anything just yet, not level 4. And Ling, you better watch out because there's a Xavier, but he's not level 4 just quite yet either. I don't really understand why Ling is on that HP. Like, that is really, really risky. Ling.
True, true. And then again, I think that was kind of a waste of time because he could have definitely recalled before, come back into the clutch. Meanwhile, just look at Alpha now. He has the free time to start the turtle, to poke the turtle. The team is also there, right, for the help. And with that, Ling will be just going on for his blue and the red because he really needs that before he actually starts to engage. So I think in this time, Astral Genesis do have the upper hand, but they are just testing the waters right now. They do not want to start the dance for the turtle actually engaging onto it. And yeah, just at the same time, if you see, just look at that. This time it is Team Giyattt with a better rotation. Just look at Granger already being there, trying to provide that support which you need. Meanwhile, Bruno just farming up towards the bot lane. Both have their own priorities. And at the top lane, of course, it will be Katulkasa getting bullied from Phobias.
Exactly. Gurkata just does not do well against the Phobius. Phobius will be winning out most of the matchup until Gurkata gets a few stacks into her Thunder Belt and gets a little sustained. But Alpha, he completely abandoned the idea of the turtle. And Kufra also really, I feel like there's a mistake. I feel like someone should have stayed into the turtle. But anyways, they're finally into the scene. Let's see if there's a play coming in. AOG does get used. Turtle gets into the hands of Ling. It looks like the first blood will be Choso
Oh,
onto this alpha. Vexana takes the kill into Zentoria. Phobius secures the kill into Wanna Suck My Balls on Ling. And Phobius, he is trying to retreat as much as possible because Granger is coming into the play as well. He's going to get stunned. Okay, 4 people being knocked up, but there is just a lot of damage onto Raiden, not Shogun, gets taken down.
that was a very, very weird gameplay, a huge mistake coming in. And just look at Link trying to dive in without the blue. I think that's not the best option once again. Link wasting a lot of time. And then at the same time, Alpha, you had that free opportunity to take down that turtle. You had your team. Link was just going for his blue. He was going for his red. You should know that Link really needs that blue, especially the second blue, because the turtle was delayed. Why didn't you start? You do have the upper hand. You have an alpha, which is quite sustainable. You have a Phobius who can actually counter out a lot of people right there. But just look at that.
Okay, bot lane, Cobra barely survived it. And yeah, just like you mentioned, Ling was wasting a lot of time, but at the same time, Alpha was like, I can do a little bit better, and I'll just not take the turtle at all. I'm just gonna waste a little bit more time as well because this is a good criticism because after all, as a player, you really need to take these little things into consideration, especially if you're against certain heroes. I mean, if it was a different hero, let's say maybe a Suyo, that would have been a good decision because Suyo doesn't need the blue buff, but Ling, he really needs the blue buff. Without the blue buff, you have the upper hand, and they just gave it away and the turtle, as well as the kills, went into the hands of Team Gap right now. And because of it, let's see which team will be able to win it out.
I mean, true. And then again, if you see the initiations, Kufra is actually waiting for others to give the wish, or maybe to give him an opportunity to use the turret's revenge. But just look at that bouncing ball coming on to Vixana. But there is not a wall where he can actually use. Plus, it will be a waste to just use it on one person. And then again, the next turtle has also spawned up, but this time it will be both the teams contesting, and it might be a bit hard because Hilda is out there for the zoning.
Okay, AOG comes in. Alpha does get the turtle, but at the cost of his life, he gets taken down Zenturia as well into the next chopping block. And right now, Obvious was looking for a target, but he might be the target himself because he is getting quite taunted. But okay, Vixana does not get taken down, not enough damage by the save here. And the blue buff is being taken down by the all right off cam kill. Bruno secures the kill into the Granger, but Phobius is still fighting, and Oi will get taken down and by Raiden. Alright, Link, that was a really bad misplay. He might get punished and taken down here, but he does have the dashes to get out of the situation. And even if he didn't even get the blue buff, Ling just not having the best of his time right now. Okay, Kofrad uses the Tornado Eye to. That is the first time I've seen that combo, but it actually worked out because I'm falling for you will fall into the hands of Hayden 1719.
Can I say at this point, just look at a Bruno actually diving head first onto the face of those kills coming from a Granger, and just a death sonata is needed for the last kill, but I don't think so. He will. Maybe he's like, he doesn't have the energy, and
What
maybe
is
he's not
happening?
sure of the aim. But, but
Except for
look
Alpha, everybody has the blue.
yes. Xavier might be saying that, just give it to me, I will be dishing out more damage than you can. So yeah, with that,
I'm
actually
the
the
strongest.
macro is still in the hands of Team Astral Genesiz because they do have 1 turret lead onto their hands. Meanwhile, just look at Bruno. He's like, you take my minions from the board, I will take it from the mid lane. And he doesn't know Hilda is there waiting for him. He might get surrounded, but then again, Kufra, what are you doing in the bot lane? Maybe they do not want to protect their marksman, they just want to protect their mates.
Okay. Into the bot lane, Eternal Guard coming.
I think Ray is facing some issues. Let me take the play-by-play. And with that, just look at Ahila still, waiting out in the bush. And it will always be Kufra and Xavier always together. Meanwhile, Link just invading the jungle right there, taking the orange to onto the grab. And Xavier with the blue just trying to clear up the lanes as they actually lost out the second tier out the bot lane, and the rest of the team also heading down. But then again, look at the Xavier versus Giyattt, the way they show it. No one disturbs the XP laners in their 1 versus 1.
Indeed. And okay, looking at the items, Bruno does get the Malefic Gun, which is really good for him to scale up. And Granger going in for the Sky Piercer as well as the Rose Gold, playing the offense and defense at the same time. And Ling does get their hands into the Berserker's Fury and the Heartless as well. So most of the players have gotten their second tier items. Kufra and Hilda are the only ones who are left behind slightly. But alright, Xavier is also a little bit behind because look at that, he hasn't completely built up the glowing one just yet. He should probably sell up the necklace and get the gold he really needs. Other than that, classic itemization on all ends. But okay, Alpha, a clever itemization. He does not want to get taken down by the magic damage, but at the same time, there is a Ling, there is a Hilda. Are you prepared for that as well? Because you need to take care of that. But okay, into the map, nothing much is happening. We're seeing a slight bit of gold lead into the hands of Team Giyattt. And see what happens into this engage, because look at that, it's the top lane, they're all gathering. They're just contemplating, do we want to engage or not?
What they might even do, because Hilla is always there trying to provide some zone and trying to provide some vision she actually needs. And Xavier, just look at the damage coming in. Oh, the bouncing blow actually countering out at Link's dash right there, and he getting immobilized, but he will be able to escape because the damage from Bruno is not enough right now. But then, they actually just push down the bot lane now. They might just be aiming for the top lane. That's why they are gathered right there. But look at the damage coming in. And Giyattt will actually be able to... Okay, what was that ultimate coming from Okubra? He is between 4 people. He will be taken down. At the same time, Raiden will also be taken down by the AOTG right there. And just look at the damage coming in from Joso. Joso going in with the Spear of Alpha. And with that, it will be a kill on to Zorion by a Hades. Hades taking kill onto Zeno. Bruno, what is that positioning? And just look at Xavier in a very tight situation right there. He will be taken down by Jin Mori. Jin Mori playing that. What's that? It was God of High School. His best place right there.
Okay, 7-10 score. 2,000 gold lead again into the hands of Team Giyattt. Okay, Alpha misses out the spear of Alpha himself. And alright, Eternal Guard being baited out, but it does have the low cooldown because Vexana went in for the cooldown build, which is what you really want to go for. So good decisions on all parties. And right now, the Lord does have the advantage because Team Giyattt, they have the mid control, they have the mid turret taken siege already. So, and Kufra, he's making slight lot of misplays. And also the fact that Joso, despite being Alpha, has not taken a single kill yet. It's really, affecting his ability to do anything in this game much. And Phoveus, I feel like, Phoveus, Bruno and Xavier, they need to watch out their positioning because they are the stepping stones that can lead their team to victory. They need to not play that aggressive and make sure to maintain that safe distance. I do understand Phobius is the frontliner, but at the same time, they can play it safe
Okay.
because you don't want
Okay,
to
the
do what
launching
Moba
bot
did.
coming in. Which is that positioning? You will be taken down by Jin Mori right there. And look at the AOTG connecting onto 4 people. Everyone is trying to just disengage, but I think Xavier is in a very tight position. Hades will be taken down. Alpha trying to dish out some damage from his first kill. And the Revitalize is right there in the clutch of time to save your life. And with that, 2 members down from the side of Team Astral, Genesiz might be an easy lot for Team Giyattt because Alpha is getting zoned away hard. Phobius cannot dive in, but Bruno, what is that positioning? Why are you there all alone? You will be taken down between 3 people. He's getting the taunts, he's getting the skill, and just look at the Tempest of Blades. Actually, kind of a waste because it was an easy kill for a Ranger.
Usually, I'd say Bruno is so OP, but the last 2 games, Bruno hasn't been able to do anything, which is crazy to say the least. Looks like the teams are catching up to the Bruno meta and they're able to deny. I feel like Ranger is just overall the better marksman due to the fact that his spam ability is much more stronger than everybody else. But anyways, the Lord will be marching down into the mid lane. This is the Luminous Lord, so it means that it has that enhanced basic attack to go into the turret, which means that their inhibitors are right now in a massive danger. But alright, Team Giyattt, what are they doing? They are not really gathering, but okay, Vexana and Giyattt, they have decided to go in for the bot lane. Ling had decided to go in for the blue buff. Okay, AOG.
AOTG coming in right there, and it will be a kill secured by the hands. The Tempest of Blade into the dive line, diving in the back lines, but it will be instead him who is taken down, way too engaged right there. He couldn't even catch up those blades, but then again, just look at that, the first the inhibitor taking down from the mid lane. Things not looking good for Team Astral Genesiz right now because they will be facing the minion pressure. But then again, there is this one thing, like you did get the Lord, why not sync those lanes? The lane sync was absolutely horrible from the side of Team Giyattt.
Yeah, that is a point that I forgot to mention. The lane sync was quite it was not good. They could have taken down the bot lane, this turret right during that siege, and they could have filled more pressure. Because look at that, it's standing with 1 HP, and because of that, your minions will not be able to attack the inhibitor just quite yet. You could have built that pressure, as well as the fact that top inhibitor is also getting taken down so low. You could have taken down that as well instead of prioritizing the mid lane, which would have taken down by the Lord itself. I feel like they could have focused into the side lane and built a little bit more pressure because the team would be busy defending the mid lord and they would be a little bit split apart and you could have gotten a few kills just like you mentioned. But yeah, that was a slight bit of mishap from Team Giyattt. But let's see what happens because right now they should probably focus into the bot lane as well as the top lane. And let's see what happens. The damage is coming up and it will be a little bit too soon for the game to end. Yeah.
The Eternal Guard actually dropping in. Just look at the rise. And Cobra will just be gunned down by the Death Sonata right there. The Downing Light coming in, but the damage from Xavier isn't enough at this point as the turret was just standing like a lost leaf in a storm, actually taken down with that 1 HP. I'm sad for you, my dear turret. No one cares about you. You were trying your the hardest. And with that, the blue can deny to our alpha. Things not looking good for them. And finally, Athena getting put in because we did see how much damage does Vexana deal right there. And kind of surprising, like if we could see the builds, like why is the Athena so late into the grasp? I mean, he doesn't have so much. Just look at him. The gold isn't enough. He did go in for the Dreadnought armor because a lot of damage is there, even from our, what is it? A Granger. So yeah, I think what Stan is done because it will be another easy lot for the side of Team Giyattt right now because the side of Team Astral Genesiz are actually just, caved in into the base in this game.
Exactly, Asuya. And I feel like, no offense to Team Astral Genesiz, but I feel like Team Giyattt could have won out the previous game as well if they did not underestimate the potential that Team Astral Genesiz had. And because of it, in the previous game, they were not able to do anything. But in this game, it's quite clear that they had the better roster. And this game got extended a little bit too much, in my humble opinion, at least. And hopefully they learn into it a little bit more because they will be proceeding to the semifinals. And it is going to be quite gruesome if you make these silly mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes that they have done into this game. And hopefully they learn from them because after all, if you learn from them, you can become a stronger team, you can give us even better dominating games, and you can go toe to toe against the ones who are in the throne. But anyways, AOTG.
True, just look at the damage coming in. The Lord is also marching down, and it will be Jozo who will be able to manage to take down our Vexana. And look at the way Ling is getting melted down right there. But Jin Mori will be securing that kill onto Jozo. The Dawnling Light coming in, and actually Giyattt in barely surviving in 1 HP. A successful defense of a 16 minute Lord right there with a miracle. Team Astral Genesiz actually losing out there. Both the inhibitors, but then again they will be facing the minion pressure.
Asya, what did Xavier say to Giyattt?
What?
What did Xavier say to Giyattt?
I do not know.
Oi. Yep, that is basically what he said when Giyattt somehow survived at 1 HP.
Actually,
But mid lane,
is really low, but he will be taken down in this. But AOTG
Oi.
coming in as the defense. Coming into clutch right there, but just look at the damage from the Eternal Guard coming in so high right there. Raiden almost getting melted down. Does he have any defense item? Like, he really needs the magic defense. People actually underestimate the damage coming from our Vexana.
he doesn't have anything. Okay, he finally
Okay.
did he listen? I saw 2 items being just sold immediately as we spoke. That is crazy. Raiden in the voice chat, guys, because he's listening. That is
and
crazy. That is
I
crazy.
think-
amount of
I think Athena would be better than a Radiant. What do you think? Especially after the nerf, Radiant, not much useful unless you are the tank.
He is kind of taking the tank role, which I kind of agree. But at the same time, yeah, Athena as well would be really good. But I feel like he's going for perhaps an immortality. Perhaps I feel like that is the recipe for immortality. And with that, we'll have to wait out and see. Bruno does have a lot of good items. He should probably get a rose gold instead of Windtalker, I feel like, because there's a lot of damage coming in from a lot of people, but at the same time, understandable. Windtalker, you want the attack speed. Other than that, everybody has the classic itemization alpha, which is semi-tank build with the war axe, and the standard builds are almost completed. Okay, the base should probably be monitored soon. The Lord, okay.
OTG coming in, and right there, it might be our Xanthoria, who is getting melted down right there. But then again, Ling to the rescue, going in, diving in with a Tempest of Blaze right there, trying to missing out those blade actually. So yeah, with that, the final Lord has been taken. The lane sync once again, I think, is absolutely horrible because you should have stayed the mid lane right there, because just look at the top lane, it just stayed up right there. So the minion
Yeah.
pressure won't be equalized from all the sides. The next Lord is actually spawning up. So yeah, maybe the next lane could be synchronized unless Vexana decides to take those minions down, and yes, she does. But then again, I think this might be the last lane in the coffin. It's just a 19-minute Lord right there. It is pretty hefty. They do have a lot of lane tier, especially when there is a Xavier in your team and you need to defend the base. It's the best which you can do. The AOTG coming in, not connecting onto anyone, but it will be Bruno who will be taken down right there. They're trying to dive behind for Hades. Hades will be able to survive, but it is a double kill for our Link right there, and it is a triple kill onto Raiden. And of course, with that, the base's HP was also locked down. And the victory goes to the hands of Team Giyattt.
What did the Giyattt say to Xavier when he died?
Bye bye.
Oi. All right. Jokes aside, best of 3 quarterfinals. Going into game number 3, what do we take from this series and this game? Well, I feel like it is mostly the draft that is playing a massive part, and it's not a coincidence. Granger picked 3 times, and a team that picked Granger won it out. The previous game, Astral Genesiz picked up the Granger, so looks like the Bruno meta is over and Granger meta is here. But in all honesty, I feel like Astral Genesiz were lacking a little bit onto the drafting into the first game. They gave it out for no reason. I feel like the draft, if they did this draft into the first game, they could have won it out simply, or could have at least given a more tougher competition and not made Team Giyattt underestimate them. It is a strategy that they work for, but at the same time, you don't want to think, make the enemy underestimate you, and then show your whole cards. Because when this happens, the opponent team is going to bring out all of their cards as well. So it's better to just go in time and time a little bit from as much as possible. But anyways, the draft has been done and everything, and the execution we've discussed it already. The lane thinking, the lane pressures, the river control, and a lot of things come into the play. And I feel like team, despite making a lot of mistakes, Team Giyattt did it better overall, and because of it, they will be able to win it out. So yeah, we'll be heading into a break. So anything you want to say before we head into it?
Nothing, just everyone stay tuned because we do have really good teams, famous teams coming up next in the best of three. So yeah, we will be going in for a short break. Stay tuned.
Do I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it? Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No.
How far of the
Without
game
this
time?
competition,
Guess we'll have to
I would have never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end.
One spark is all it takes to ignite the stars!
Do I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it? Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No.
How far will they get
Without
this
this
time?
competition,
Guess we'll have to
I would have never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end.
One spark is all it takes to ignite the stars!
I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it? Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No.
How far will they
Without
get
this
time?
competition,
Guess we'll have to
I
wait
would
and
have
see.
never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end.
One spark is all it takes to ignite the stars!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Blazing Championship Season 1, powered by Blazing Shadow Esports and Vistas, and media and broadcasting partner, Indian Gaming Corps. Anyways, we're back into our quarterfinals of the day, and it is the second match. And this is the best of three, after all, between Team Eliminators and Team Relic Legacy Esports. And we've seen them play, and Eliminators being the known team already, they have a respect to carry on, and let's see how they'll be performing into this game. But anyways, Team ET, an unknown team, they have all the players, and we'll have to see how they'll be performing. And on the other hand, we have Team Relic Legacy Esports, who is also a good of a team, and they have already started the ban out phase, and I'm going to be your caster Ray, and joining me would be Asuya herself soon, so please stay tuned for herself. But anyways, let's get straight into the draft phase, and we are seeing ET has Mir and Saramon today, along with Prices, Art, and Bed. And on the other hand, we have Team Relic Legacy Esports with their usual lineup. But anyways, heading into the band phase, we are just seeing the typical meta bands, nothing out of the ordinary. All of the respect-worthy heroes, the Fanny, the Zushin, the Bruno, the Chip, all self-explanatory. They provide the utility, the damage, the early game aggression, the mobility, and because of that, they're just the heroes you don't want to be facing off with. So with the band phase already over, we are already first seeing the three priority picks. And with that, Team Eliminators are starting off the draft with that wild woman into that jungle, and that is none other than Hilda on Art on Hilda, as well as the Granger and the Alpha. On the other hand, we have Team Relic Legacy Esports locking down the Lala as well as the Sicilian as the first two picks. They really want to have the aggression into the late game. And they also pick up the Export, perhaps for the mid game phase, because in the early game, I feel like Export will not be able to compete with the likes of Alpha. But at the same time, I'm curious to see how it goes. But anyways, Relic Legacy, they're starting off with the ban of the Valentina. And on the other hand, we have Team Eliminators. They will be choosing up their ban soon. So looking at the draft so far, looking Hilda is a little bit flexible, so it can be swapped with EXP or the roam, but it's mostly going to be roaming position. And this is the gold laner and the jungle. On the other hand, they have their mid lane, their gold laner, and jungler. So both of the sides have their gold laner and jungle. So because of that, it means that Team Relic Legacy will probably try to choke down Bid for that mages. And on the other hand, Team Eliminators, they can try to choke down the EXP lane options. And that is basically what they're proceeding to do with the high loss coming into the ban section. The next one is probably going to be Giyattt. And look at that. Just like I said, Relic Legacy, they're going off with the ban of the Eve, the Bid. One of the favorite heroes for Bid. But anyways, alright, it's actually going to be Carmilla. Looks like they really, really don't want any of the Curse of the Blood action. And with that, we'll be proceeding to the second phase of the picking phase. And we'll have to see what Team Relic Legacy Esports is really cooking, because right now they have a lot of options available. They still have the Giyattt into the table to pick it up for the EXP lane, because I feel like he'll be able to create a lot of impact, especially for this Granger. Forcing out a dash could mean a lot of things into those team fights. And because of it, we'll have to wait out and see what is their really plan. On the other hand, Team Eliminators, they really still have a lot of options available into their hands. They can pick up the Louis for the diversion play and have the upper hand into that map control, as well as take down Sicilian and catch him offhand. But okay, Relic Legacy Esports going with the Belric. I'm not really sure about that, because Ranger can maintain the distance and he's not a basic attack hero, which is what Belric excels at countering. And also the fact that there's 2 damage coming in from that Alpha. So I am not really sure. But anyways, Team Eliminators, let's see. What do you guys want to pick? And these 2 picks will reveal if Hilda is the EXP laner or the roamer. Okay. Looks like, yep, Giyattt is gonna be the EXP laner, and Farsa will be their mid laner. A really good composition that Team ET has gone for, because if there's no Eve with the kill box composition, guess who has the other one? The zoning out from the Farsa's burst of the feathered airstrike. Anyways, Relic Legacy Esports, what do you guys want to pick up for? Because you still need the XP lane or someone who can go toe to toe against. And no, it is going to be laying onto the jungle and Xborg into the XP lane. And somehow it does make sense because Xborg with the true damage will be able to dish out a lot of damage to the Gatakata and Team Eliminators. They can do a smart thing and push Gatakata into the roaming position to make sure that Xborg doesn't get the comfort of the EXP lane. So let's see if they're going to commit to it, or they're probably going to be confident with their picks. But anyways, the drafts have been finalized, ladies and gentlemen, and both of the teams are looking quite strong. The Beleric is the only unconventional pick right now into the meta. But other than that, all of the decent picks. But only thing that concerns me for Relic Legacy Esports is the fact that they do not have a proper early game, and because of it, I just feel like they just don't have a good enough an early game. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're diving straight into the game number 1 of the second best of 3 quarterfinals of the Blazing Championship Season 1. And we have Team Eliminators into the blue side and Team Relic Legacy Esports into the red side. Alrighty, we are already seeing an engage coming into the play. Hilda getting poked in, but she has the Wilderness Blessing. She pokes in Xborg, and he will be the first blood. And just like I said, the early game, Eliminators have it much stronger. It's more of the fact that Relic Legacy doesn't have the early game response that they were quite looking for because most of their utility lies into the later phases. But with that, Ling might be in a little bit of trouble, but there's a retribution and he does get the blue buff that he deeply so desires. But his green buff is getting a little bit zoned out, and Beleric really can't do anything about it. And with that, Beleric might be next into the chopping block, but there's the pick up play, but Bid with the damage takes him down. But anyways, into the top lane, Gatakata, a little bit of over aggression. Legend will get taken down himself as well. And anyways, Hilda providing a lot of map utility and vision for the team. And but Alpha might be able to take down this Xborg because he is in a precarious position. Their retribution doesn't get used. But Hilda, she's looking for him. He is have enough damage, might be able to take him down. And he does. But right now, the next turtle will be up soon quite. And we'll have to quite see it soon. Because right now, alright. We'll have to wait out and see. Relic Legacy Esports, they're looking they're looking in a light tight position. They only have 1 kill so far, and it was Legend due to his extension. But right now he has the AOG. That means he can easily retreat. And Link does not seem to be interested in coming to contest this turtle because there's the feathered airstrike coming into play, and he gets taken down. And right now there's the engage into the top lane. AOG being used. Ifrit getting taken down. And Alpha just does not stop. Sarar Moon is unstoppable as he'll be able to secure the kill, but Xborg gets out of the situation. Ling is coming into the play, does not secure the kill just yet on Legend. Legend really sidestepping, but gets punished for it. There's the feathered airstrike coming into the play as well. Farsa better get out of the situation, and they finally retreat with that overextended team fight. But Granger, look at the poke coming in. Lela trying to do the best to match the pace, but will this Zararmon able to retreat? Because I feel like that might not be the case. Barca with the bird will be going back home to the base. And right now into the map, we're seeing the aggression coming in from Mirror on that Hilda right now. Okay, Feathered Esther coming into play as well, trying to zone out as much as possible. Link does get a blue buff. So with that, 12k gold. So that means alright, into the blue buff, Legend and Mir really trying to keep the aggression as much as possible, but they gotta make sure they're not giving out enough kills either, because of the fact they already have 4 kills on the board, and they want to make sure the snowball doesn't happen at any point of the game, because if it happens, the late game will be secured by Team Relic Legacy Esports, and they should be looking to end as soon as possible. But anyways, into the mid phase, Xborg will get taken down because the last insanity gets faded out to retreat. But Ling is looking for Bid Will he be able to take him down? And the answer is yes. The shutdown come into play because the answer was yes, and that is the Ling player's name. Yep, a really bad pun, but anyways, temperature blade being used up as well. He collects the blade, but is there enough damage? Because he gets out of the situation before it's too late. AOD coming into the play. Sicilian using the flicker, perhaps a little bit paranoid, but it's okay. Anyway, Stranger, no, Mir got taken down into that engage. Stranger is doing good, and Alpha will be securing the turtle itself as well. Anyways, Relic Legacy Esports, they have to make sure they maintain the momentum, but Tukasa doing a really great job buying the time his team needs because Alpha will be able to choke down onto. All right, that just does not come into play. Might be able to survive or not, but okay. Kacha takes down. All right, Crime and Sama will get taken down himself as well, but Hilda will get punished for that engage. But okay, Saramun Sigursikal into Ifrit as Yaz will retreat 10 to the 8 scoreboard and 3K goal lead for team eliminators. And right now, we'll have to wait out and see what really happens into this game because it's only been 5 minutes and team eliminators, they are able to zone out a lot of map potential. And with that, we'll have to wait out and see what really happens because Art has already gotten the mid lane. And okay, into the bot lane. There's the goal lane. Fast are making the great rotation. Gotokata would be coming in with the unbreakable Hilda, really making the aggressive play. One to make sure the pressure is always up. Granger probably has a lot of stacks right now, and because of it, will be able to maintain the distance and the spam ability. The Wrath of the Dryad being used, and Mir, or finally retreating, uses the Revitalize to heal up a little bit. And with that, they will just be having the chilling time and just relaxing a little bit. And all right, Kacha into the bot lane. Feather Restrict being used. Hilda with the Wilderness charge takes down the Lela. And 80 Styles might be next into the chopping block. Art does play safely, maintaining the distance. Sicilian really does not want any hands of this Kacha as he'll be forced to retreat right now. And with that, there's multiple turrets being taken down left and right. And okay, there is the feathered airstrike coming into play as well. And Lala does use the destruction rush, but doesn't really get anyone. And okay, Ling, I'm not really sure what he's trying to do in that position, but at the same moment, okay, we'll have to wait out and see. All right. Already 7 minutes into the game, most of the map control going into the hands of team eliminators. And that is basically what Team 80 really needs to do. They need to end it fast, they need to end it sure, because then once Lala and Sicilian come online, they will be having a little bit more difficult of their time. But so far, the Spars are really doing a good job at zoning out as they'll be securing this mid tier 2 as well, gaining a lot more map control. But I feel like Sicilian's damage is slowly coming online, and that is danger that team eliminators really want to avoid. And with that, and okay, my bestie, my dear cute Asuya, she's finally here back. Asuya, take it over.
Okay, I do see the temperature play. Just look at Lang how fast he is, but then again, it will be Mir taking that kill onto the X mark. Nothing remains. One man against the entire world. Will they be able to defend? I do not think so. Just look at Legend. But then again, Sicilian is back onto the fray. He will be using those sanguine glass, but the damage isn't enough. But just look at that. How Mir just getting executed by the Nibitter, barely surviving. They are bleeding right now, struggling to survive, struggling to defend. Ray.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, you must be tired. You were kind of solo for a long time. But then again, just look at the damage coming from Art right there. He's playing Granger today. And yes, with that, it's only 8 minutes into the game, I just noticed. And it's almost down to the inhibitor for the side of Team Relic Legacy Esports. Not having the best time of the life, especially they do have two of the late gamers with them. They have a Lela, they have a Sicilian. Both of them really need that late game. And I think AJ style, using the ult from the Belric, are trying to dish out some damage. The feather airstrike trying to zone people away. The last insanity coming in after art, but it will be Xborg who will be taken down in that engage right there. And Sicilian just trying to heal up, trying to get his mana back for those one or two bad impacts, but it will not be enough, as I think another inhibitor will be down from the bot lane, and the Lord has also been secured. Just look at Ling, he is trying to intercept it while it even goes near the base. The feathered airstrike actually kind of a waste right there, but then again, the Lord has been secured. The Tempest of Blade coming in, Bid just moving away in clutch, and it will be a kill spree for Legend, who was able to put the downturn to the lane, and with that the bad impact coming in, the bad feast, the damage is so much. The Firaga armor has been popped away, and feathered airstrike coming in once again along with the Spear of Alpha. 2 kills taken away right there and then, and I think it is only the Sicilian surviving, but the Spear of Alpha once again securing that triple kill. Sarar Moon on a rampage right now, and with that I think this is the end. As wait a second,
Wow.
yes, coming in. Okay, okay. They are trolling, but never mind. Just look at the feather airstrike. Not actually okay. They're just inviting Link to come and take him down. Let me just look at that art with the flicker. He will be able to escape, but look at the damage coming in. Yes, barely surviving right there. Another minion wave heading inside, but art will be looking to retreat as everyone has kind of respawned.
They could have ended it right there. They're just a little bit too comfort, but at the same time, you gotta make it sure that they're playing it not too safe or not too aggressive because, okay, Art, better watch out.
Okay, barely surviving. Then again, just look at the damage onto AR Killer. The immortality will be popped off right there. The Sanguine Claw is not actually connecting into anyone, and he might be looking for another last insanity, but it is not possible. The Tempest of Blade coming in once again. Yeah, surviving a clutch. And with that, ET once again just laying siege onto the base right there. The feather airstrike creating such a beautiful zone. I really love the skin. I wonder when it will come in the Starlight shop so that I can buy it once again. But then again, at this time it is absolute domination. Just look at Art spamming his first skill. He has enough stacks by now, and the feather airstrike coming in once again along with the AOTG. It will be a threat, will be going down right there. And look at the Death Sonata. Mir though will be taken down, but at the same time it is 3 people locking down onto the base, and this victory will be secured into the hand of Team Eliminators.
And what a game we just had. Team Eliminators, they had a draft for themselves. They got the heroes that they wanted and they knew what they needed to do. Team Relic Legacy, they did not have the early game aggression at all. 3 of their heroes completely late game, and because of that, they also pushed the Xborg into the XP lane, and because of it, Team Eliminators, they just knew, make sure that you maintain the early game aggression, and that is basically what they did. They ended the game before it hit the 15-minute mark. They made sure Lela doesn't go online, nor does the Sicilian, and with that, Team Eliminators will be securing the first game.
And yes, what can I say? It all lays down to the draft, and the point which you mentioned is the major point right there, that they did not give them the time to scale up. They did not give Lala the time. They did not get Link, the snowball, and Sicilian also needs those stacks. Like, he needs to hit around 150 before he starts to dish out some damage. But then again, when it comes to around 250 mark, that's when he actually makes impact into the game. So yeah, denying the clock is what got Team Eliminators this victory. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will be going in for the short break, but just stay tuned because the rest of the matches are yet there to be played.
I see you're the best.
I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it? Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No.
How far will they get
Without this competition,
Guess we'll have to
I would have never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end.
One spark is all it takes to ignite the stars!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Blazing Championship Season 1, and we're going to be heading straight into the game number 2 of this best of 3 series, quarterfinals. Second match of the day, and it's Team Eliminators versus Team Relic Legacy Esports. And having a really late game draft really punished Team Relic Legacy Esports as Team Eliminators were able to secure that early game and end it in 12 minutes. Let's see if Relic Legacy Esports has a response to one of the 4 known teams in India, that is Eliminators, or it's going to be a clean sweep, and Eliminators will show that they still have what it takes. Anyways, I'm going to be your caster Ray, and joining me would be the ever so beautiful, ever so cute Asuya, my best friend herself.
Well, thank you for that intro, Ray. And yes, this is the best of 3 between Team Relic Legacy Esports and the Eliminators, and 1 point in the hand of Team Eliminators. So this might even be the match point, unless we see some epic comeback coming from the side of Team Relic Legacy Esports. And with that, they do have the first pick, and from the first game, they did manage to learn that how aggro Eliminators can be. They really brought it out, especially in the early game, and they couldn't confront the fans which is coming from the side of Team ET. So I think maybe fight fire with fire, or maybe fight fire with water. Let's just see what they go in for the draft. Maybe picking something which is kind of tanky, which can survive in the early game. Not going for an assassin, and going for something chunky heroes, maybe an alpha or even a Hylos Matala combo works out for them. Giyattt Kacha, do not give it away. Let's just see what they go in for, because just look at that. Fanny has been banned out along with the Bruno. Two of the most meta picks right there. Sorry, and bans too. So yeah, let's just see what they will be banning out. What do you think, Ray? Will they be banning out a Hilda this time?
Quite potentially, possibly, but there are a lot of competitors. I mean, a lot of other heroes they need to consider as well. I'm really curious to see what Relic Legacy Esports have in store for them. But yeah, they are the first pick, so perhaps they can ban her out or just pick her for yourself. So we'll have to wait for it and see. All right, no, they are just going to be paying respect to Sarah Moon's joy and banning her out. And with that, let's see what ET wants to decide to ban out. They can just go in the safe road, ban out the Sicilian, or at the same time, they can go in for something else for themselves as well. Because I feel like Team Eliminators, they will be able to handle the, you know, Hilda coming in, because I feel like they have the resources for them. And yes, indeed, they actually ban out the high loss. Let's see what Relic Legacy picked up.
A lot of options are open. Maybe grab onto the Suyo or an Alpha. Wait, if you grab onto the Suyo, I think Alpha is always there on the reach. And they might go in for Sicilian, but they did manage to pick it towards the game before that. But then they did have 3 late gamers, so it might work out if they go in for some early game aggro along with a Sicilian for the late game guarantee. Because Giyattt Kacha is open, you might take him. Chip is open, and Khalid is open. Fovis is open. So many stuff yet to be picked up. Let's just see what they go in for. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah. Anyways, we'll have to wait it out and see what really is going to be the case. I'm just going to wait it out. And All right, it is gonna be the Aurora coming into the play, and all right, let's see, let's see.
I think she is a good mage, but she suffers from the range, and we did see Bid really loves to pick up the range mages. But when it comes to Zushin, she's open, and Sicilian does have the range from the second skill, of course. Farsa has the range, Xavier is also open, and this is what I was gonna say. Ray, I just asked you, will Art go for a Hilda? It's one of his favorite picks, and yet, like Team Relic Legacy once again doing the same job, giving away the early aggro to the side of Team Eliminators. I mean, just see how they will get invaded. So maybe just pick up an alpha in this game to sustain the invasion which will be coming from their side, because yes, they will be just securing that in this game.
Yeah, we'll have to wait it out and see what's gonna happen in this game because I'm really looking forward to what Team Eliminators, Team Eliminators really have in store for us because I'm always looking forward to their game and they are picking up the Chow and I'm really looking forward to how it's probably gonna be Mayor on the Chow perhaps. Yep, it's probably gonna be Mayor because he's the one roaming right now, if I'm not wrong. And because of it, I'm looking forward to his performance. But at the same time, the Granger is coming into the play as well. The Bruno has been banned out, so I want to see what Team Eliminators will be picking it up for them. But anyways, all
The
right.
draft,
Yep, any other Tiger? Yep.
yeah, they did not want a Zeo paired up against an alpha works wonders, so they just banning the jungler out. Two junglers banned, but then again, just look inside the team eliminators. They are banning out a Rafala. I mean, I don't think so. Relic will go for a Rafala. But then again, I really love this Joe pick here because he will be able to pick off the Aurora. And Aurora with the CC coming in with the Frost Breeze and also the Frigid Glacier, she will be dishing out a lot of damage. So you really want her towards the forefront. So she really needs to be careful of a Joe. Or maybe just pick in that Purify to just be immune from that. Let's just see how it goes because um, they already have a Granger which scales really well, especially when it gets around 300, 450 stacks. He can be quite deadly. And then
Mm-hmm.
again, the last ban also set in right there, but it will be okay. It will be Moscow making his debut after so long.
Hmm. And as we know, Art is playing the goal lane, and because of that, Art is playing the goal lane. So because of that, I really want to see how Art will be performing with a Moskov, which is not considered that much of a matter right now. But Granger against the Granger, I really want to see how the performance would be. But anyways, we should be seeing the last two picks coming in from Relic Legacy Esports, and they have to pick up their EXP laner and as well as their roamer. And because of that, I am looking forward to how they will be countering out Eliminators because this time they have the Sicilian. So the late game is actually into the hands of Team 80. So they really need to make sure the early game goes into their hands.
There's one doubt from my side. Like right now, we have three picks. We can already see Relic Legacy have gone in. Oh, it is a Carmela and a Ruby along with our Aurora. A really deadly combo, if you ask me. Because if all look at the amount of CC Team Relic has right now. Meanwhile, if you look at Eliminators, they have gone in. For they do have CC, but of course it is less when compared to Relic Legacy. And with that, oh my god, Sarar Moon just locking on to his signature pick right there, the link. Aurora really needs to be careful. Granger needs to be careful because they will be marked down quite a lot. But then again, she does have the Pride of Ice, giving her one extra life. Then again, there's one thing about the draft, Ray. The early game aggro from the side of Team Eliminators is kind of intense because Joe as well as Hilda can dish out a lot of damage. But then again, when it comes to Relic Legacy Esports, they have a very good draft, but it is kind of ultimate reliant. You really want Carmela to initiate, give those curses of blood, and then followed up by Ruby and our Alpha, and of course the Frigid Glacier. So, it's kind of a very, risky draft, high risk, high reward.
Indeed, Asia. And we'll have to, just like I said, high risk, high reward there. Instead, this time, Team Eliminators is the one who's going for the really, really late game composition. I'm looking forward to what they can bring because, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the land of dawn. And this is the Blazing Championship Season 1. quarterfinals, best of three series, second match of the day, second game of the day. Team ET already one match point, and let's see if they're going to be able to do a clean sweep with this quite of a late game aggression draft. And anyways, I'm going to move past the Ray, and joining me would be Asuya herself. But anyways, we're heading straight into the game, and all right,
Okay, Legend in
Legend.
between for people. He's getting CC'd right there, but the rest of the team is there for the protection. Mare going in, but like having the alpha, this is what the edge is. You really get that protection. You have that sustain, but Ruby trying to CC people, and just look at Joe Legend just trying to dish out some damage, trying to do some poking game right there, and Sarar Moon trying to take away the crab. Alpha will be having a hard time with that level 4, but then again, look at Ruby in a very tight situation right there. Unless Saran has something to say, he is level 3. That was, oh, dive too deep. A bit also coming in for the rescue, but it will not be a kill secured.
Exactly.
Okay, Legend in a very tight spot. He's trying to dish out some CC, but the flicker has been baited out. Sarar level 4, he might go in for the Ruby, unless Alpha has something else to say, because we do see him right there. Okay, he is diving in. The Tempest of Blade might be coming in, but I think that is a bad situation because there are 2 stuns on the hands of Team Relic Legacy. But look at that. He manages to escape in 1 HP. He will be recalling at this point, but then again, the rest of the team is there for the support. Mir and Bit just rotating away. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Art having a very bad time against the Granger. He might be the first not taken away, and yes, this will be the first blood into the hands of Team Relic Legacy Esports. Meanwhile, the contest for the turtle has already started. Mir looking in a very tight situation. Bit already level 4. Mir, meanwhile, still level 3. The Sanguine Class connecting right there along with the Bat Beast, and it will be as securing that turtle and the retribution on the hands of Alpha. But then again, they're still going in for the brawl. The Vengeance has been popped up. The freeze coming in from Vix. Aurora will be taking that kill onto Mir, but look at that. She does have the Purify. The weight of the dragon will not be actually connecting onto anyone. And Legend actually still dashing, but I am offended along with the Curse of the Blood. They might be taking down both of them in a very low HP. Yes, they will also be giving their life away.
And okay, Ling.
Okay, he got frozen by the Tempest of Blades coming in. The Pride of Ice actually saves Aurora. But Link, what was that dive? They are really overconfident.
And yeah, Sir Armon, that was a little bit too aggressive because she did have the Pride of Ice. So I don't really see the reason why you would want to dive straight into the turret. And that was, yeah, that is not what you want as a Link, because as a Link, you are a late game hero, but you want to make sure that you're safe. Early game is very safe. You want to make sure you have the distance, you get the farm, you get the items, and you don't want to avoid that. And Relic Legacy Esports, they're already 5 kills in, and it's kind of looking bad. I do understand they want to shut down Aurora, but not like that. Not like that. But with that, let's see.
Okay, look at Legend. Legend in a really low HP manages to survive. But the Frigid Glacier actually getting wasted. The Sanguine Class connecting onto 2 people. Look at Mir trying to go in, but the Curse of Blood just connecting onto Bid. Meanwhile, Legend will be taken down by AR Killer right there. The double kill secured onto Mir. Okay, what is that overextension? And I am offended along that beautiful flicker. It will be another kill secured on the side of Team Relic Legacy Esports. I mean, even the turtle is gonna spawn, so I think it might be even a free turtle for the side of Team Relic Legacy, because they are looking very good when it comes to the scoreboard right now. And just look at that. And Art might be in a very compromising situation. The Purify hasn't waited out 3 people onto him. He is trying to move away. Maybe the ultimate. Okay, I think the energy isn't enough for the Death Sonata to get that lost hit onto Art. Meanwhile, the turtle already onto the grab. The damage coming in. The CC from the Ruby. The Spear of Alpha connecting Sarar Moon going in, and Bid will be taking that kill onto Yaz. And with that, I think this will be another kill onto the hands of side Team Eliminators, Bit taking the double kill onto the name of. I was just gonna say that it might be an easy turtle for the side of Team Relic Legacy Esports, but they just prioritize Art over the turtle, and the second neutral objective of the game into the hands of Team Eliminators right there. Meanwhile, Art still surviving, standing strong in the top lane.
Yeah, that's very impressive of Art, actually. I mean, we know him that he had been playing the roam position, but lately he has switched to gold lane, and his performance is very impressive to say the least. He was able to survive the onslaught of quite a lot of times, and he bought enough time for his team to get the neutral objective, just like you said. And right now, Granger might be in a little bit of jeopardy because 4 people getting right there. Carmilla trying to provide the vision because she knows her boyfriend can be quite scary and wants to avoid that. But okay, the turret
Okay,
is
the
getting.
turret might be taken down by the lane right there, and I think bit, or even Mir might go down, but just look at that engage. The Curse of Blood actually connecting onto just one person. Mir will be taken down as the Frigid Glacier also just onto one person. Two of the resources wasted right there. This is the perfect chance for Eliminators to go in, unless Mir tries to put the Spear of Alpha connecting onto him along with the Frost Priest. So Moon might go in, but then it will be an unstoppable secured by Aurora.
Okay. Well, looking into the map and as well as the goal lead and everything, Team Eliminators, they are slightly behind due to the scoreboard and the goal lead. But at the same hand, looking at the turret pressure, I feel like ET does have a better mind. Okay, bot lane.
Okay, Mary, in a very compromising situation, he might be taken down unless the bush is right there, giving him some heal. But just look at the Sanguine Claws protecting Mir, but I am a fan and will be grabbing that kill. So Moon, meanwhile, taking that kill onto AJ Styles and the Tempest of Blade coming in. It might be a double kill on the hands of Team Eliminators are also coming with the SOT taking that kills. And yes, with that Legend in the mid lane may try to get that kick onto Yaz. And yes, Yaz might be the next one onto the chopping block as it will be a triple kill secured by Moon right there. With that, they will be taking away the mid lane inhibitor. Sorry, the first tier turret. I was kind of lost. That will the Spear of Destruction actually connect onto Granger, but then Granger just backs off. But then again, are trading it off with the second tier turret in the bot lane. Meanwhile, just look at the orange buff. Link trying to take it away. He will be successful. Meanwhile, 80 Styles in a very compromising situation. He might be taken down right there. It will be a mega kill secured by Moon. Yes, he gets the farm he needs. Everyone trying to shout some damage. Just look at the damage onto AR Killer. Ruby trying to do something. The Purify has been kind of baited away. We're trying to take some damage. The freeze is right there, but it will be taken down by the Ruby. Ruby is doing really amazing. Yes, meanwhile, taking that kill onto Mir. Moon capitalizing on the situation, taking that kill onto the Granger. 3 members remaining from the side of Team ET. Legend might look for some way the dragon, but the Sanguine Claws is always there to disrupt people away.
Yep, absolutely. And despite having the early lead due to the draft potential, Relic Legacy Esports right now, they're not able to do anything with the flow that Team Eliminators are going with, because it's really impressive. I mean, they know that their composition relies on a little bit onto that Moskov, and they're making good use of it. Spear of Destruction rotating top to bottom, and they've gotten the mid, top, and the bot turret. Not to mention, the second tier bot turret has been chunked down to almost like none. And because of it, they are going to be able to have a lot of map control. And looking at the itemization, Ruby does have the classic items and is building towards it. But right now, the Moscow is also scaling up really, really good. And Aurora, she doesn't have anything.
And yes, the Tempest of Blade will be securing that kill away of the dragon. But look at the beautiful Curse of Blood connecting onto 3 people, and it will be Moon will be taken down here, killing Mir, and are trying to dish out some damage. Legend, okay, that kick was really bad, and yes, he will be punished for it. Legend in a really compromising situation. Same goes for Art, as he will be okay. A wipeout on Eliminators. That's how a Curse of Blood can change the game.
So I feel like that was a little bit too over aggressive on their ends. And they do get the bot turret, but they might be losing out their mid turret because Granger is going into there right now. And anyways, coming into the play, we'll have to wait out and see it soon. Because Team Eliminators, they still have the flow. They can still get the game back, especially considering that it's already 9 minutes. And in 3 more minutes, Sicilian Stacks and Moscow will be getting their power spike completely. And once the damage comes online, it's really, really hard to counter out them, especially considering the fact they do not have an assassin. They do have the freeze, they do have the Granger for the poking, but how much? Look at the damage from Sicilian right now.
Okay, the Curse of Blood connecting onto no one right there. Legend trying to grab onto AJ Styles. Meanwhile, look at Mir trying to CC Aurora the way she's zoning away, but Mir will be taken down by Yaz behind the scenes. I mean, this is 2 battlefields going on. It's Mir and Alpha, and it might be her Mir who is taken down. He's barely surviving right there, but yes, he will not be able to survive. Meanwhile, Moon might come and capitalize on the situation as okay, he did get that stun. The lifesteal from our Carmela is actually enough onto the minions, and with that, Cryman somehow dealing some damage to Moon. He manages to blink away, but he doesn't know that AR Killer is right there. But he kind of is revealed his position with the first kill, and with that, Yaz he's literally moving like it's his own private property in between so many people. He's not afraid. He knows that he is quite sustainable. And with that, the first slot out for the game, and team eliminators might go in for it, as the rest of the team is also coming in. And again, just look at Legend with that beautiful way of the dragon connecting onto the Ruby, the Frigid Glacier onto two people. But then it will be a double kill secured by Art right there, and the Lord goes into the hands of team eliminators once again.
Okay, all right, another engage, and looks like Ling.
The temperature
down.
blade, and yes, will be taking down AJ Styles in a very low position. He will also be taken down right there. Only one member remaining. A kind of a wipe out, a very bad time to get wiped out actually, because the Lord is also marching down. Even the lane sync from the side of Team ET is actually good. I mean, just look at them. They will be just moving in, pressuring lane C's onto the enemy base right
More
there.
damage.
AR killer, just the damage. Oh my god. And with that, Lord marching from the top lane, Bit just trying to take away the minions stacking up. Will Team Relic Legacy Esports be able to defend Legend going in for some grab? But there he gets that CC to the last inhibitor from the top lane, also taken on. Meanwhile, Saran taking that kill onto Granger, very bad position. That is just a double kill secured by him. He's going in for the third, but then it will be Ruby going back to the fountain. She is trying to survive. Meanwhile, Yas trying to take down that Lord, which is actually Lingxi's onto the base. But look at Art. Art might get that kill in a very bad position. In between two people, will he be able to escape?
What?
He's trying his best. Oh my god, just look at that. Yas was taken down. AR killer trying to dish out some CC, but it will be a double kill secured right there. Okay, the curse of Art finally taking Art's life away, but it is a game well played because the pace is HP, being taken down by the minions as well as Speed, and the game is a clean sweep for the side of Team Eliminators.
Yep, and what can you less expect from one of the best teams, known teams of India right now? Team Eliminators, they will be coming out on top as they clean sweep this series against Relic Legacy Esports. Great effort coming in from Relic Legacy. They knew their weakness into that previous game and they tried to make good use of it. They were trying their best to make the good use of the early game, but Team Eliminators, they had the better overall execution. I won't say the draft is like very, very good. I feel like both of the teams had really good draft on both ends. It's just the fact that Team Eliminators, their execution, especially the map control with the Moscow, was really, really good. And due to that fact, I feel like Team Eliminators, they just, it's sometimes the truth is that they just played better, and because of it, they will be winning it out. But Relic Legacy Esports, do not be disheartened. Your efforts are counted. You guys made it to the quarterfinals, and we congratulate you for making it so far. And I hope this isn't a letdown, but another stepping stone in your journey where you can become stronger and you can come back in the next season of more championships. But anyways, that is for the game. And Asya, what do you wanna say before we wrap it up?
Nothing much to say. Everything has been said. Enough words from the side of Ray. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this was the last game for today. So we'll be just going off. But do stay tuned, do like, share, and subscribe because we have really good teams which will be matching up in the next few days.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard Asya, and with that, we'll be bidding farewell for tonight. But please stay tuned for tomorrow and come in again in the stream to witness the games together. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be closing off for tonight. And so take care and good night.
Do I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it? Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No.
How far of the
Without
game
this
time?
competition,
Guess we'll have to
I would have never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end. I really have what it takes? What if I lose my way? Is it really worth it? Will everything come crashing down?
These two are back again?
No.
How far will they get
Without
this
this
time?
competition,
Guess we'll have to
I would have never met Dexter or dreamed of reaching for the stars. Let's burn as bright as we can, Dexter, till the very end.
One spark is all it takes to ignite the star!